Green on Facebook. What is going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Tonight it's Friday, Red Friday. And should be a fun night tonight. Olivia and I are running together. Got a goal that we will put up for you. Hope everyone is doing well. What is going on in your world? Lots of news. Not crazy news, but there's some stuff going on. We're going to talk about it tonight, obviously. Hope everyone is looking forward to a good weekend. We will do what we always do, which is take a little bit of time explaining what's been going on in the political realm. We hope you stick around. We hope you stay with us through the entirety. Please do me a favor and share, like, and subscribe. Let's get this out on Twitter. We had 800 plus on Twitter a couple nights ago, then like 400, last night 200. So do me a favor. With you sharing it, if you have a Twitter page, it makes a difference. It gets us the exposure we need and all of that. So please help us out with that if you would not mind. Please also share on Facebook, on YouTube, Rumble, everywhere else would mean a great deal. Liv, how are we doing tonight? How are you?
Oh, I'm here. Long day.
Roger that. All right, everybody. We'll see you in about 3 minutes, and we'll be back.
It's Red Friday, RED Friday, which stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. A movement designed to honor veterans and deployed U.S. troops by wearing a red shirt every Friday. As simple as that may be, Red Friday is a great way to back those who serve our country. Go to dumbshow.com and search for Red Friday to get your red on.
And I wanted to congratulate you on the Don't Unfriend Me show at the Dumb Show. I was thinking about that whole thing the other day when I thought it was right after Donald Trump was elected that everybody on the left started unfriending anyone on the right. So I'm glad you're calling them out. You've got a great name for the show, and I hope that you're true to the values, conservative values, Republican values, and that you call those people out. I think it's great, and I know you've got 135,000 followers. I hope you get a lot more, and just keep the faith, keep fighting. I think we may get America back, but in the meantime, we've got a steep hill to climb, and you're one of the fighters, one of the patriots. So thank you for what you're doing.
Adjusting transmitter output. This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
What's going on, everybody? Matthew Spear from the Don't Unfriend Me Show. And thank you, Hayden. We love you. And my lovely wife, Olivia.
Yo.
Happy Valentine's Day, sweetie.
Happy Valentine's Day. I'm rocking the pink and the red.
I noticed that. We don't celebrate.
Every day is Valentine's Day in our home.
Oh, that's so true. I was just going to say that. I'm glad you did, because I agree. Your chair's super high. Let me see if I can get you down there. I love you.
I love you too.
And happy Valentine's Day. You know, I used to shower you with gifts and pearls and
Yeah, my necklace,
flowers.
my earrings are the ones that you bought me.
I used to shower you, and then you just like
We had kids.
bullshit. You said you don't want it. You didn't like it. I don't like it. I don't really care. I don't need it. And so we just kind of stopped doing it. But we should start doing it again. I don't know about going out for Valentine's Day and doing all that, but start celebrating things better.
Okay.
We do well on our anniversary, but that's about it. Even Christmas.
Not really.
Okay, whatever.
We never go out on
you know
our
what?
anniversary.
Don't make me sound bad. This is more
No,
more you than me.
I forgot our
have been-
15th wedding anniversary, so.
It's not that. I used to be one of the most romantic people in the world, Liv.
Yes, you were.
Well, then, don't throw me under the bus.
I'm not throwing you under the bus.
Sure you are. You're just like, oh, well, we don't do anymore. Well, I did it all the time. And you didn't want it. And you started just like, well, it's just Valentine's Day, just like any other day. And so you take some ownership. I love doing that stuff for you. And I want
flowers were never an option because we had cat that ate them.
Totally agree. But going out to dinner or getting a nice piece of jewelry or getting some sexy lingerie for me to wear for you, those things are all...
Yeah. Well, we never had babysitters, so we never went out.
We did, but what we would do is be like 20 minutes into it, be like, we missed the kids, let's go home. That's not a lie.
That was when we first had Hayden. After I was a stay-home mom for a couple years, I was...
Yeah, you're like, screw it. I don't care about the kids.
Yeah, grocery shopping was a vacation for me, so...
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, but I think we should start... I don't think we need to get crazy. Like,
okay, I'll expect my dozen roses tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I don't know. I made you a really good dinner.
Yes, it was delicious.
Yeah, homemade
It was
sweet potato
amazing.
fries, and it was good. Good dinner. Well, anyway, folks, happy Valentine's Day. I hope you guys are having a great Valentine's Day. Having a great, just overall February. I mean, Donald Trump's in office. How can it get any better than this? I have a feeling it's going to. A lot going on in the news. Let's just break down a couple things. First of all, don't throw me under the electric Tesla armored truck, please. Not the bus. You didn't even tell him about the time I took you to Melting Pot and blindfolded.
Oh yeah, that was just out of the blue. That wasn't even anniversary or.
Oh yeah, it's almost like
it was. Yeah. I didn't know we were. Reminiscing about old dates.
We're not until you threw me under the bus. Folks, this is the Constitution of the United States, 144 pages. It is leather bound, gold inlay. It is a beautiful rendition available on thedumbshow.com. I actually had a request to personalize it. I'll be happy to do that on the inside cover. But this is something we use in the show constantly. And the reason why is because we reference the Constitution of the United States, because it is single-handedly the most important document to every single American. Also, you get yourself some coffee. We have got some of the best coffee. We have FJB, we have Moab, we have Kami, Tomahawk, and the 4547 Donald Trump brand, which is all made by veterans. It is fresh brewed, fresh roasted and sent to your house. Literally, the moment you order it, within 72 hours, it is roasted, bagged, and sent to you. It is the freshest coffee you can get, except for going down and grabbing Juan Valdez and having him deliver it to your front window. So it's almost just as good. So go over there and do that. Last but not least, we have 2 goals. One of the goals is to make sure you have a good time. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the show. And the second thing is We have a $300 goal that we do every night. And the reason why we do this is because Facebook are a bunch of scumbags who demonetized us, and we didn't ask for donations for almost 3 years and 3.5 years. And now the viewers, after 11 months, every single night has helped us hit our goals. So we appreciate it. We try to keep it within a sane and realistic number, and we seem to have a pretty good time hitting it. So thank you so much. Let's get going. We got a lot to do, and it's Friday night, and I know Olivia and I want to get to feeling all right. And although we may not participate in roses and Cupid, we do have copious amounts of sex pretty much every day, and tonight will be no different.
Oh, can I say something really quick?
You could say something about that, so it was like I'm making it up.
No, that's true. But that's not what I was going to talk about.
What are you going to talk about?
I was going to say for people on Rumble, there's a couple that do the Rumble chat donations. Just an FYI with that, they take 60% of the donation. We get 40%. And they don't pay us for 180 days. They hold on to it for 6 months.
We've got like $375 just sitting there, and it's been there for since November.
Yeah, they won't pay us they have up to 180 days to pay us. So we won't see that money for at least 6 months when you do that. So if you want to go through Rumble Chats, that's great. We appreciate every penny. If not, you can go to thedumbshow.com/donate.
Yep.
And we get the money right away because it goes right to our PayPal account.
So moving on, Yaha says, I only hire the most talented racists, Elon Musk. Nope, never said those words in his life. That's fake news, not a real quote. And if you're trying to be funny and do it tongue-in-cheek, you're also wrong because you guys lost an election over that shit. You know, racist, transphobe, homophobe, Nazis, Bible thumpers, gun grabbers. That shit doesn't work anymore. You guys can keep doing it. We fucking love it. Love it. Call us Nazis all you want. We love it. We love to hear it because you guys have essentially made it the least most important thing about anybody's day. It's become ever more apparent that for our president, the rule of law is something to navigate around or simply ignore, be it for political or personal gain. Reagan, judge in the 14th Amendment ruling, ban! I can't stand copying carbon paper people. I would have probably just like spent at least 20 minutes on you, but you fucking people aren't worth it. We won. You guys got 1,241 more days of this. It is going to be living hell on you. You got to learn to cope. You got to find some seethe capability and
put some stock into wine and just drink wine every night.
Yeah, or JCPenney catalog and some turtle wax or something like that. Just find an outlet.
I don't even think they put out a catalog anymore.
Well, they should, especially for that fucking guy. Folks, welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Tonight we have a good lineup. We're going to be talking about a few things, obviously. We have something called the A block, B block, C block, D block, E block, and F block. No, it's not San Quentin prison. It's simply, it's lingo for very professional media talk of a segment, usually ranging about 15 minutes and to 20 minutes. And usually there's anywhere from 4 to 3 segments per hour. We're going to have 3 per hour, roughly. And let's rock and roll. The first one is Maddow, caught in a lie, about the Cybertruck.
Mad Cow, huh?
Mad Cow had some things to say.
We haven't talked about her in a while.
Yeah, she's pretty irrelevant. AP, dude, we must be going viral. What the hell?
Apparently, I didn't even have time to do invites.
Dude, we just got 10 of them in like 5 seconds. It was just 500 flat.
Yeah, it's been a crazy evening. Didn't get home till 6. Just shoved food down my throat. Got ready for the show.
Looks like we're going to break 225. Pretty exciting.
That is awesome.
AP banned. AP, the Associated Press, is banned from the White House press room. Maybe CNN is next. We're going to find out. Picture on the wall. Can anyone guess what Donald Trump had on his entryway into the Oval Office? Don't guess. Leave it as a surprise for the people who have not read the book and the ending yet.
I don't know it.
You're going to be able to guess. I'm gonna let you guess.
Okay.
They need Ukraine to go on and on and on like the Energizer Buddy. And some interesting news about Ukraine. And of course, it has to continue because Democrats need endless wars to funnel their money and skim off the top. And this is the way it works. And they may not just steal the money we're sending overseas, but they get this through campaign contributions and dark money. We know how this works because we're exposing this at a rapid clip. We'll talk about that tonight. Milley and the USAID. Did Milley pay for overseas extremist events? Thanks, Barb, for doing exactly what I asked you not to do. Thanks, Barb. Thank you, Barb. Okay, folks, that's it for the show tonight. Barb spoiled it for everybody.
No, everyone else is saying it too. So
have a good night.
This is
Thanks
the
so
Don't
much.
Unfriend Me.
Victoria knows better. Victoria knows better. Seriously.
like several people said.
Barb may not know better. Oh, Kelly should know better. Oh, Lord. All right, well, fine. You guys did it. We're just teasing. Folks, listen, if you have sensitive skin, this is not the place for you. You need like SPF 2000. We like to joke around. We like to pick on the audience a little bit. Don't take it personal. It's all in good fun. Everybody's been there, and it's all in good humor. It's okay. We were going to get to it anyway. You didn't spoil anything. Fairfax is at it again with kids, Liv.
Fairfax or LCPS?
Fairfax.
Okay.
So
it's usually one of them, one or the other.
Well, we're going to talk about that. So we're going to get it. And trust me, when I say this, it's people are going to be disgusted. So let's start. Yeah, people are congratulating me. I didn't say anything. I kept my mouth shut this time. Yeah, yeah. We know how you guys work. First things first, we're going to be talking about Rachel Maddow. Did you know that Rachel Maddow used to be somewhat of a progressive?
No, I do know that we used to watch her when she first started, back when we lived in Colorado, and I actually liked her, and then she went all freaking crazy.
Yeah, like a lot of them did.
Yeah.
You know Caitlin Collins too, right?
Oh, she was the one who did the interview with President Trump.
Yeah. And she seems pretty, dude, I don't know what's going on, but we're going viral. We're
Yep.
Something's clicking and hitting.
Yep.
Would it surprise you? Well, let's do Rachel Maddow first.
Okay.
Rachel Maddow this Monday. Victoria says, I didn't hear you say don't say it, pouring more wine may get worse.
And that's more important.
What's new? I mean, how is that different than any other second on the show? Rachel Maddow came on Monday and said, hey, Elon Musk has a government contract worth $400 million for armored Teslas, and reported on this, knowing it was a lie, knowing it wasn't true. I knew it wasn't true. And let's listen to this. Jesse Waters does what Jesse does and decides to go ahead and take this apart. And then I'm going to add a little bit more perspective that Jesse doesn't. Here is the video, and give this a watch real quick.
Because apparently somehow convinced the United States government, specifically the United States Department of State, that the taxpayers of the United States of America should spend $400 million buying, quote, armored Tesla production units. Isn't it great and definitely not at all illegal or profoundly corrupt? Definitely not ripping us all off to pay themselves, right?
Donald Trump didn't give that contract to Elon Musk.
Biden
Joe
did.
Biden gave it to him.
That's correct.
Elon Musk has apparently somehow convinced the United States government.
So not only was it Joe Biden that gave that contract, one of the first things that happened when Donald Trump swore in is Donald Trump rescinded it and made it to all EV companies that make trucks, and left it open for, if any of that was to be passed through appropriations, it would not be dedicated directly to Elon Musk. Elon Musk also took his name out of running because it would be a conflict of interest. It's always something. It's always something. It's never the truth. It's always lies.
Well, they know they can't keep their viewership if they tell the truth, because their viewership is in their own little bubble that thinks that Orange Man bad. And if they start actually telling the truth about him and about what he's doing, then they're going to lose their viewership. And not like it's not way down already, but they're going to go freaking bankrupt. That would be just fine with me. But
well, Caitlin Levitt, and that's just going back to CNN, and the fake news is everywhere. Like, I have never seen so much outrage for people who are upset at the person exposing all the corruption versus being upset at the people who caused the corruption.
I know, it's insane. I saw your little thing on Facebook, your little video this morning.
With
Schiff and whoever that was. That was freaking hilarious, by the way.
Let's play it, by the way. You know,
'Cause that was funny.
Well, we appreciate the support. I didn't make it, but we do appreciate it. Here is the video if you would like to watch it. And Merry Christmas. Hey, Bobby Richardson in as always. There is no better and amazing host.
She's talking about me.
No,
'cause
she's
it's
not.
not plural.
No, she said host. She would have said hostess. Host is a male moniker, not a female. I'm sorry. You're a hostess. I'm a host.
Sorry.
Sorry. Thank you, Bobby. I love you too, sweetie. You're the best. Hugs and kisses on these Valentine's Day. Maybe you'll accept my roses. Bobby's a guy. It's okay. Honey, I need to tell you, Daddy needs to have a talk with you when we get done. Oh, no. I know you were. All right, get out. Here's the video.
Bobby is a girl, but that's okay.
I know, but she was out of the room. She doesn't know Bobby's a girl. I know Bobby's a girl. I spoke to Bobby on the phone. Bobby and I know each other. Forget it. You don't get it. I was making a joke. Here is this video that Olivia was referencing. Listen. No, maybe not. No, maybe not. Maybe 3 times will be a charm. Let's listen.
Elon Musk is a threat to our democracy, allowing him to uncover fraud in the misappropriation of...
Bobby says, you all are great. Yeah, but we know who the best is. Come on, Bobby. It's okay. I get it. It's fine. You have to say that. You're required to say that. I respect it completely. Here's the rest.
Elon Musk is a threat to our democracy. Allowing him to uncover fraud in the misappropriation of taxpayer dollars is somehow a constitutional crisis. Let me remind you all what you'll be losing if Elon Musk is not stopped.
Dude. Come on,
Elon Musk is a threat to our democracy. Allowing him to uncover fraud in the misappropriation...
We got it.
Got what? A tampon throwing contest in Dubai. They will not benefit from the $2 million spent on a pancake eating contest in Mongolia. They will not benefit from the $4 million to fund a tampon throwing contest in Dubai. They will not benefit from the $8 million to produce Pimp My Ride in Zimbabwe. Hello?
We got it.
Got what?
Evidence that USAID is actually really beneficial to the American people.
Okay, I'll be right there.
It came in 10 minutes ago. I'm sure this will make Americans really supportive of USAID.
Elmo wants to jihad. Elmo wants women to not show their ankles. Elmo wants to teach your son how to throw a stone really hard. This is exactly what the American people will lose if we don't stop Elon Musk.
I agree. Look at this. On the left is one of Musk's cronies. He goes by the alias Big Balls. I suspect it's a nickname he gave himself so people think he's packing, but by the looks of it, I'd say his balls aren't really that big. He recently recommended cutting $16 million funding an Afghanistan version of Karate Kid, which makes him the biggest threat to our democracy to date.
My God, it's a constitutional crisis.
We're sending a man inside Doge to gather information. This is our spy, David Hogg, codenamed Teeny Tiny Teensy Weensy Balls.
Are you sure this will work?
It's a 50-50 shot. My only concern is that he's too masculine to masquerade as a genius.
Pretty good. Ian is in with his perspective, always down the middle, but never choosing a side. Ian, whose outrage is more valid? Who can outdo who on a daily basis? It's a shit show every day. Watching everyone spin everything is ridiculous. I'm interested to hear what the conservatives are spinning, minus the truth. I'm confused. Was it the border that we're spinning? Was it fentanyl? Was it lawfare, political lawfare? Was it that General Milley was funding coups and riots and extreme activist protests with USAID money? Was that it? Was it Lake and Riley that were spinning? Was it that our children should be sexually mutilated and their genitals lopped off? Is it us, or that we're domestic terrorists for thinking any of those things or saying it out loud? Was it the lockdowns that we should be bothered by? What outrage are we referring to, Ian? I'm always confused by your takes and why they always seem to be so down the middle and never taking a side. You're going to have to choose. At some point, it doesn't have to be Republican or Democrat. It should be good versus evil. And I'm sorry, but there is evil on the Republican side. There's evil on the Democratic side for sure. But there's only one that's attempting to dismantle the Constitution of the United States. And it certainly isn't us. And if anyone thinks it is, just simply look at the platform of the Democratic Party. What is it? What is the platform of the Democrats? Because you can't tell me. We went over this last night. You should watch the show. But needless to say, with 180 some odd people on, I'd like to see people start defending what's right and wrong. And we'll talk a little bit about that. I'm not outraged. I'm just reporting what's happening. I'm used to it. This is what they do. But then you've got Caitlin Collins after the Associated Press was banned, and Carolyn Levitt just absolutely crushed her. And just in an amazing way. Listen to this. Liv wants your opinion on this after.
Okay.
I don't think for you. Which White House official made the decision to bar the AP reporter from the Oval Office and the diplomatic reception room last night?
Well, first of all, let me just set the record straight. It is a privilege to cover this White House. It's a privilege.
Sorry, I can't see the volume.
To be the White House press secretary. And nobody has
Pause
the
real
right
quick.
to go into the
I got it.
Thank
Christina,
you.
for you two lovebirds, happy Friday and Valentine's Day. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you, Christina.
We appreciate you.
Oval Office and ask the President of the United States questions. That's an invitation that is given. And there are hundreds of outlets on this campus. Many of you in this room who don't have the privilege of being part of that pool every single day and getting to ask the President questions. We reserve the right to decide who gets to go into the Oval Office. And you all have credentials to be here, including the Associated Press, who is in this briefing room today.
But isn't it retaliatory in nature is the argument, because the reason that the AP was barred, which they said was because they're not using the phrase Gulf of America, they're using Gulf of Mexico in line with their standards. And so the question here is this setting a precedent that this White House will retaliate against reporters who don't use the language that you guys believe reporters should use? And how does that align with the First Amendment commitment that you were just talking about?
I was very upfront in my briefing on day one that if we feel that there are lies being pushed by outlets in this room, we are going to hold those lies accountable. And it is a fact that the body of water off the coast of Louisiana is called the Gulf of America. And I'm not sure why news outlets don't want to call it that, but that is what it is. The Secretary of Interior has made that the official designation in the geographical identification name server. And Apple has recognized that. Google has recognized that. Pretty much every other outlet in this room has recognized that body of water as the Gulf of America. And it's very important to this administration that we get that right, not just for people here at home, but also for the rest of the world.
Oh, snap. Liv, before you comment, and I know you got something about the Gulf of America, I want to show you something that I drudged up that I think you guys will appreciate. Just call it a little bit of research. You know, those things that the news media doesn't. Because the thing for me is,
Caitlin, what?
I want to show you a video from a few years back, and you tell me who's on the right. Hold on. Just don't spoil it. Let's let them figure it out. Hold on now. Here it is. Take a listen and see who this sounds like.
From our nation's capital. Caitlin, what does that mean? What's George Soros trying to do with the immigration crisis?
Good morning. Okay, so George Soros is this foreign-born left-wing guy who essentially wants to change the nature of our country. And in this data dump, one of the memos was about the refugee crisis. And they made 3 points. They think that they've been successful at influencing immigration policy across the world. They think that the refugee crisis is an opportunity to continue doing so. And they think the refugee crisis is the new normal. And George Soros is this guy who is a staunch advocate for open borders.
Your P.O. box added to the bill pay? I don't understand what that means.
Where?
Beefy, I don't know what that means. So help us understand what that means. Sorry.
He wants people to be able to go wherever they want, whenever they want, for whatever reason. And for him, he sees this immigration policy, this crisis, as a vehicle to further his immigration agenda.
From our nation's capital.
Wow. First of all,
She got some work done.
feminism destroys all women, first of all,
Yep.
because nothing wrong with the way she looked then. I don't know why she needed to go ahead and get the work done and get the fake contacts and bleach her. Yeah. So, Liv, what is a lefty doing on Fox and espousing stuff about the most loved and appreciated person in the world, George Soros, on the left, and now is one of the most radical lefty reporters in the business? Someone explain that to me.
Well, like most of the radical left reporters, most of them started middle ground moderate. Some of them on Fox, just like Caitlin. And something tells me that they have a prerequisite to become insane to work at CNN, because they all seem to, once they go to CNN, they all seem to just freaking lose their minds. And I'm just curious what they're being fed on a daily basis and what they're told they have to cover, or A, they're going to get fired, or B, they have to be, money has to be involved here.
It's money.
I would assume.
Of course it's money. She has been one of the most outspoken people against Donald Trump. She is completely rude. Remember what he said about her during the debate or during the town hall. Trump, Collins debate, town hall, when he said, you're a very nasty person. And, she is. And I understand these people try to get the goats of, the left and right, and that she really is just a second fiddle for Jim Acosta, because CNN wanted the white male, even though his last name's Acosta. But trust me, he's the white male. But they didn't get him, so she became second best. So the charade is that everything about them is fake, from their reporting to their political donations to their supposed unbiased reporting. It's all fake. It's all a show. It's entertainment. And that's Fox too. I don't care what mainstream media. It is all entertainment. It is all fake. And there is nothing real about her. Thank you, honey. Rachel Maddow, The View, or anybody else. Interesting, though, to dig up that old clip, don't you think?
Yeah, well, we've also dug up old clips of Don Lemon, too.
Don Lemon. It's a name you don't hear. God, he went to insignificant land.
Yeah, he did.
Another person who Elon Musk impacted their career. So to see that, and to see AP banned when it comes to a private event, they still are inside that room. So it's just more fake news. Whether it's the cyber trucks, whether it's this is all they have. And they have nothing else. So
no, they do not.
This is the problem of why the Democratic Party is in such a conundrum. Last night, Leroy and I talked about it, which really, the new Democrat Party is really the new GOP. Donald Trump took all of their platform hostage, and they don't have anything else to stand on except for virtue signaling and transgenders and men aren't women and everything else. Jumping right into Block C, because A and B were both that. We're going to talk about this and see if you notice. This is the entryway, Liv, into the White House, and Secretary's desk is to the left, and then there's usually 10 or 12 other secretaries, and then the front man for the president, kind of the handler, the person who takes the job in West Wing of Dole's. What was his face?
I don't remember.
I don't remember his name either. But anyway, that's basically what it is. And so that whole section is right there. This is right when you walk in. Take a look at what photograph this is and see if you can spot it. I'm sure you can. Most people have seen still images. Well, we decided to go ahead and get the actual video because we do it better here. Here it is. Did you see it?
Yeah.
What is that?
That would be his mugshot.
So every single
awesome.
person that has to walk in, a foreign dignitary or a member of the press or any of the J6 committee who decide to go ahead and go and kiss his ass.
I think it's great. It's basically a big F you to everything.
I just don't. I don't understand why he is such a threat to these people until I see things like this. I mean, this is like a badge of honor for him. He's embracing this. And he's saying, come into my house. I'm a convicted felon and I'm president of the United States. No matter what they do, there's nothing they can do. And this is probably one of the best clips to do this from James Carville, who I don't like at all. But I want you to listen to this. And this is what Leroy and I were saying the other night. And man, it has went up 44 since we've come on.
Yep.
So we're going to hit 25,000 tonight. Listen to this. Give it a listen. Tell me what you think.
Don't forget Rod Blagojevich. Trump is a criminal. Criminals like to be around other criminals.
And a mob boss.
Yeah. Bannon is right. We are flooded in shit. And we are searching for a way to deal with this. These are extraordinarily difficult times. And he just keeps moving with one stupid thing after another. Maybe some of our I'm struggling here a little bit, so maybe some of our really smart viewers can help us untangle a little bit. It's really tangled now because no one knows where to land. It's all too incomprehensible. We're getting overwhelmed, and things that we thought that would kill a political career, that would be poisonous for whatever reason, this guy keeps chugging along.
This guy keeps chugging along.
Do you know what rugby team he plays for?
Yeah, it's pretty good, Liv. He plays for the USS Sanctimonious. James
Sounds
Carville, a genius political strategist. There's no doubt, and has that. Such a jerk, but you got to kind of admire him no matter what side you're on because he's so good at what he does. In the movie Primary Colors, he plays the guy who goes, I got some slave in me. I can feel it.
Got it.
You know, Billy Bob Thornton. And if you play the movie, it'll sound just like that, by the way. And I just did a pretty good job of that. Thank you. Appreciate it. But that's who he played in that movie. And I want you to listen to the beginning again with nothing else. And he answers his own question. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. Well, here it is.
Don't forget Rod Blagojevich. Trump is a criminal. Criminals like to be around other criminals.
And a mob boss.
Yeah.
You just explained why the Democrats lost.
Yep.
Because you're struggling trying to solve Donald Trump as a person is the only thing you're focused on. And the problem with that, truly, is the only reason why people want a criminal, philanderer, morally challenged, grab him by the pussy, questionable business practices, Trump University, bankrupted 6 times out of 586 businesses, which is like a 98.3% success rate, which is like the best out of any Fortune 500 company. But whatever. The only reason, besides that all of it's bullshit, and we know it's bullshit, we support Trump because you are just that bad. You're so insufferable. We would rather have the questionable guy who supposedly is a Nazi and a sexist and a homophobic and a xenophobic, which we don't believe, but we would rather have that guy than any of you or your best person that you have. That is how fucking bad the Democratic Party is. That is how terrible they are. And I just don't think they understand how terrible they are. Liv, where does the Democratic Party come from here? How do they fix it? How do they turn it around? What do you think is going to happen that's going to make them all of a sudden viable in 2028? Does it have to be an utter failure of a presidency for Donald Trump for them to have any chance? Because if he even moderately succeeds, is 2028 ours as well?
Yes, absolutely. The only way they have a shot is to recognize the problem. Knowing you have the problem is the first step, and then figuring out how to fix it. They don't think they have a problem right now, and they do. And their problem is hatred. They hate Donald Trump so much, and they hate anyone that voted for him so much that they are blinded by that hatred. And until they can realize that that is their hatred is the reason they lost, that they're not going to win. Because if they continue on this rhetoric, more and more and more and more people are going to get sick of this and start switching over to the Republican Party, because whether or not they believe it or think it, people don't thrive on hate. People want to be happy. People want good things in their life. And people who thrive on hate are complete miserable people. And no one wants to be around that.
Yeah.
And they're going to start losing more and more people. And I think in 2028, I think Republicans are going to get, if they continue on this path over the next 4 years, Republicans are going to get everything again. And then in 2030, we're going to win the
2032
midterms.
Oh, okay.
And then after 2030, they're going to be like, whoa, wait a second. Why have we lost the last 6 years?
But they're done. There's nothing they do after that, because there is no more party platform. What do the Democrats stand for? I asked this to Leroy last night. He couldn't answer it. What do they stand for? Just like, tell me what is a conservative principle? Give me one.
A conservative principle.
Something we believe in.
Well, I don't believe in abortion.
Okay, great. So you're pro-life. What else?
I am small government.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay, great. What else?
The Constitution.
Okay. What else?
Leave our kids alone.
Okay, great. What else? Individual rights or collective rights?
Individual.
Great.
Less taxes.
Do you believe in populism or nationalism? World populism or nationalism?
Nationalism, I would think, right?
Yeah, globalism is wrong, and populism. Okay. Nationalism and populism is not the right thing. Nationalism or globalism is the question. So fairly simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tell me what the party platform is, and what do Democrats believe in?
The only thing I know that they believe in is hating Donald Trump. That is what they've run off of for the last 8 years.
Beefy says, I've added your address to send payments via my bank.
I think he wanted our P.O. box to send payments as opposed to doing it via online.
If that's what you want to do, that's fine. Yeah. But the fees on PayPal are nominal. I think it's like $2 or $3 per 100. It's very inexpensive. But yeah, if you want to do that, that's absolutely fine. That's fine. Go ahead. I missed what you said. Can you say it again? It's really important to me to hear what you have to say. I asked you principles of the Democratic Party.
Oh, I said hatred for Donald Trump.
No, I know, but seriously, what do the Democrats stand for?
I don't know. That's all I've heard about them for the last 8 years is their hatred for Donald Trump and anyone that supports Donald Trump or anyone that is not on the left.
Yeah, party of civil rights, party of the working class, party of larger government, party of federal government, everything.
Putting men into women's sports. And,
but none of those. But that's the problem. Everything that America is against: open borders, allowing soft DAs, progressive DAs, cashless bail, minimizing the size of our defense, Paris Climate Accord, pallets full of cash to Iran, not protecting Israel. Everything that they do, it's hated.
Yep.
So what do you do? Okay, so what are you going to do? You're going to go talk about being strong for borders? That's not going to happen because that's Donald Trump's bag.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to talk about peace in the Middle East? That's Trump's bag. You want to talk about free trade? That's Trump's bag. You want to talk about go ahead and making trade fair and to decrease the disparity? That's Trump's. You want to talk about inflation? You can't do that because you just got through a president who created the inflation problem and the biggest we've seen in 75 years. They have nothing. They're not even the party of civil rights anymore. They used to be the working party. They used to be the party of the ACLU. They want to castigate white people out of society.
What they should be doing is trying to fix their party over the next couple of years.
How?
I don't know. That's the problem. I don't know how they can fix it.
It's a great problem to have.
Their hatred to Donald Trump is so high right now that they are still in shock that they've lost. They can't accept the fact and admit that they lost. And what they're going to do is
trash.
Okay.
And then I want to continue to hear what you say, because I want
that one's it.
Yeah, that's it. Go ahead.
And what they're going to do is in about 2 years ish,
Yeah.
whoever, when the primaries start for Republicans and whoever's running, their aim is going to go to them. And they're going to pick the top 3 frontrunners of the Republican Party that they think could be the nominee, and they're going to try and rip them apart. And all of a sudden, it's not going to be Trump as a Nazi anymore. It's going to be DeSantis as a Nazi, or Youngkin as a Nazi, or something like that.
Sure, we understand that. But once again, that doesn't redefine the Democrat Party.
No, it doesn't.
That doesn't tell them what their platform is. So even if they try to, let me tell you why. Economic populism used to be a Democratic principle. Pre-Clinton Democratic Party was pro-worker and focused on protecting American jobs. Trump revived with these policies with tariffs, reshoring, manufacturing, and standing up to China. It's Trump's.
Mm-hmm.
Trade protectionism. Old Democrats opposed free trade. Well, he put the USMCA in place and essentially made NAFTA inept. Labor support. Blue-collar workers voted Democrat. Under Trump, all the unions voted for Trump. Anti-war stance. The old Democratic Party was against Vietnam. They were against Korea. Hell, they were even against Iraq in a lot of ways. Now look at them. They want war everywhere.
Yeah.
Big government for the people. The old Democrats supported government intervention when necessary. Trump used executive orders to cut regulations, provide stimulus checks, and lower prescription drug costs. I mean, Trump was actually a fairly big welfare president, being that COVID. Civil liberties focus. Old Democratic Party fought against government overreach under Trump. Now they want to spy on all Americans, extend the Patriot Act into perpetuity. They want to use Facebook and big tech to go ahead and use oligarchs to go ahead and take over the election process. And then when Elon Musk doesn't donate, doesn't take any salary whatsoever to cut, they say that an oligarch is running it. Yet they didn't care about Bill Gates. They didn't care about Zuckerberg. They didn't care about Soros. They didn't care about Fauci. Law and order without overreach. I mean, are you kidding? This was all what the Democrats were. This is what Bill Clinton did. I mean, he essentially created the no strikes, 3 strikes in California. His criminal sentencing for crack was a huge disparity against all other illicit drugs. Now, who's all about law and order? Removing these progressive DAs, putting these people in jail? Oh, well, he released J6 prisoners. Yeah, after they served their time. Handful of them had sentences that were over 4 years. They all served their time. American first foreign policy? Are you kidding me? The liberals? Obama's apology tour? Border security and worker protection used to be a Democrat. I've got 200 videos I can show you of Clinton and Obama. Education reform, shrinking the government. But remember this, they still held on to what you said: pro-life policy, Second Amendment defense, tax cut deregulation, and judicial appointments. The GOP is the Democratic Party.
I was going to say, that sounds like Republican.
The GOP, the Democrat Party. If everyone's like, well, where did the Democrat Party go? It's a part of the GOP. And this is why they got their asses kicked. Listen, they go, oh, well, it was only 2 million votes in the popular vote. No, it was a 9 million vote swing. Biden had 7 million votes more than Donald Trump. And 4 years later, Donald Trump had 2 million more, which is a 9 million vote swing. That is an absolute shellacking. Won all 7 swing states, won the gubernatorial, won the House, won the Senate.
When do you think was the start of the downfall of the Democratic Party? Was it Obama?
No.
Or was it 2016?
No, Obama was extremely successful for a Democrat. And although he wasn't good for America, he was great for the Democrat Party. Nancy Pelosi came out of that. They had some of the highest levels of fundraising. The Democrats were very successful. What happened is when the Democratic Party decided to go ahead and go further left. And they were incapable of shutting down voices like Ilhan Omar, Rashid Tlaib, Ayanna Pressley, AOC, and these people had louder voices and they were afraid to lose the youth vote. Well, what did they do is they grabbed a very small majority of the youth vote, or minority of the youth vote, and felt that would carry on through college campuses. And what they didn't understand is that people listen to their mom and dads. This generation follows mom and dad. And mom and dads told them about the good old times, told them about Reagan, told him about the times with Clinton and that Obama and Biden were nothing like this. And Kamala Harris wasn't going to be any more of the same. And that she had ties to socialism and communism. And America repudiated her and said no.
Our generation is now having our kids are the ones who are the young vote right now. And we are the ones that we were not the No Child Left Behind kids. We get kicked out at 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning and don't come back to the lights. Come on. Go to whoever's house you're closest to for lunch. If you get hurt, go to that house. If not, if you're thirsty, drink out of the water hose. That no knee pads, no helmets, freaking metal slides in 100 degrees.
Oh, that's true.
At the park, those are the kids that are the next generation right now that are coming up to vote. And we have taught our children, we raised our children the way that we were raised.
We used to burn ants with magnifying glasses. We used to throw fucking Roman candles at each other. We used to beat the crap out of each other to be friends for life. That's because Obama was the biggest, best liar. It doesn't matter if he's a liar. He was very successful for the Democrat Party. It doesn't matter. Bush was a liar. Listen, a lot of people go after Obama. I'm not an Obama fan, but one thing he did was unify the Democratic Party. But this party...
And then Clinton got a hold of it. Is she over there?
Yeah, she's sitting on. I tell her to lay down. She lays down in the office now. She listens in here. She knows that this is an important area. She doesn't run around here. She doesn't chew cables. This would be a puppy's nightmare for anybody. She treats this room with the utmost respect. She's very careful. She never gets wild in here. It's incredible how I just don't understand this dog. She's amazing.
Amazing. She got shake in like 3 days.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even train it with treats because she did better without treats.
Right, because it gets the smell in the hands. All right,
Yep.
So I think it's fair enough to say that we covered this. Folks, we'll be right back with the next segment.
The Dumb Store is veteran-owned with a 5-star diamond rating for service and satisfaction. We offer quality products like coffee, shirts, hoodies, and hats, all made by veterans. Shop with confidence, backed by hundreds of 5-star reviews. Use code DUMB10 to save 10%. Visit thedumbshow.com today. Thank you for your support.
So today I had a chance to go see my endocrinologist, right? Is that what it is?
Urologist.
Urologist? What's endocrinologist?
I have I don't know, but it's urology. That you're going to have to look up. Endocrinologist. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Person who deals with the endocrine system, which is hormones and everything else. So
Got it. Okay.
endocrinologists is specifically people who deal with like estrogen and testosterone specifically, diabetes, thyroid issues, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I have an endocrinologist and a urologist, and they did I did a check on me, do some blood work for testosterone and estrogen and make sure all those things are in line with my TRT replacement. And just to be honest, I got a prostate check, got a prostate exam. And I know it's not September and that's Prostate Awareness Month, but I want to make sure men are realizing that, it's not comfortable. Yeah, it sucks, but it's important. And we have friends of this show who are fighting through some things right now when it comes to cancer and prostate cancer and others. And we have a responsibility as men to be here as long as we can to protect our families. So if you have not had a chance, please go get it taken care of. Don't be embarrassed. There's nothing to be embarrassed about it. You can certainly, take the doctor out when they're going to their car at night after they do it to give you a clean bill of health to make sure nobody talks about it if you want. But overall, it only takes a second, and all you have to do is pretend like you're in prison. So that's pretty much it. So clean bill of health, looking good. Monday I'll have all my results back, and I'm pretty confident that that things are good. So get it done. It's important. Mammograms, when do we do those, Liv?
I usually do mine in the fall because I did mine in September. Because that's usually I go for
Honey, we're trying to give advice to people.
I don't know.
Do you do it out yearly, annually?
It's an
You're a woman.
annual-
Hold on a second. Yep, you're a woman.
Yeah, it's annual after age 40, but if you have it in your family, your doctor will tell you if you need it earlier than that.
There we go. So get it
But
done.
I have it in my family, and my doctor said I didn't need to start till I was 40. So, and it's because it's my dad's mom that had it, so it doesn't. It's mainly runs through females.
Yes. Going into just a little, we care about you check. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Get that stuff taken care of.
Hey, I thought of a middle name for Ash. We could call her Ash Wednesday Spear. Sorry.
I got to finish the T-shirt. I'm working on it.
Just somebody said this.
How about Ashhole?
Ashhole.
She's a good dog. She's an amazing dog, man. This dog's incredible.
I
Okay,
like
yes,
Wednesday.
we're talking about you. She sits right here by my side. This is the most loyal dog. It's incredible. Like,
Oh yeah. Wakes up in the morning, and if Matt's not downstairs, she goes and sits at his office door and stares at it. And after a couple of minutes, she doesn't hear anything. She runs up the stairs and sits outside of our bedroom door and waits until he wakes up. She is definitely a daddy's girl.
Yeah, she's my dog. She's always by my feet. And whether I'm cooking or whatever, she's here right now. Did he pat you on the back? No, it's a lady. I'd never have a man go that way with me. Woman,
She was a fantastic doctor. I liked her.
Yes, she was. No, I'm just kidding. No, a woman only. I'll never have a man do that. No, no, woman. Mm-mm. You know, it's just no. And Olivia was in the room with me, which I would not let her not be in the room with me. I would never have another human being touch me in that way without my wife present.
I love you, but I don't want you anywhere in that room when I'm getting.
I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be. I just don't feel comfortable having. I just want you there in case I have to whimper. You know what I mean?
Hold your hand. Little ash kicker.
Yeah, Ashmere. That's funny. All right, let's move on. There was supposedly a Russian drone that hit Chernobyl nuclear power plant, including Shahid and Jiran drone debris.
Isn't Chernobyl in Russia?
No.
Okay.
Ukraine is not Russia.
Oh, I didn't know Chernobyl was in Ukraine. I thought it was in Russia.
Okay, this is a whole conversation. It could take a long time, but you would have to go back to the separation of countries when Russia split apart. This is a whole nother conversation. We don't need to, but just know that Chernobyl was hit by a Russian drone, supposedly, and all the news. We must hold Russia accountable. We can't appease this. We can't tolerate this. They want this thing to kick off and fire off to a global scale like never before. Listen to this.
This is how the Chernobyl confinement looks after Russian drone hit it tonight. The fire is localized, but beneath is the reactor that exploded 40 years ago, and there is still a huge threat of radiation, not only for Ukraine, but for the whole of Europe. This is why we call Russia a terrorist state.
You know, everyone knows that Trump is negotiating with Zelensky and Putin right now, and this is so fucking predictable. So predictable. What the one thing that you can't possibly imagine, people hear that it's exactly like you think. Chernobyl, an attack? What is he trying to do? And it gives you that reaction of just that's palpable and terrifying, and you go, what a crazy man. What is he doing? We can't allow this to happen. They want Russia eliminated. And you know what? I don't like Russia. I don't like Russia at all. I don't like their government. I don't like their systems. They were a sworn enemy to me in my intel career, and I spent a lot of time working against them. But give me a break with this shit. Russia is absolutely not a threat for us unless we continue to push the Ukraine narrative that they need to join NATO. This is what they're doing. Zelensky, of course, is doing the tour and asking for more money. And now the UK listened to me last night, those bastards, and they're sending supposedly military troops and weapon systems. I'm just tired of this. I'm tired of this stupid conflict. I don't want it. I don't think anybody wants it. I think the only people that want it are the people who are getting rich because of it. And once again, any basis for any government system is war. Here is President Trump, and literally hitting
just in there.
Joe Biden on starting the war in Ukraine. Listen to this.
Yesterday were pretty accurate. I don't see any way that a country in Russia's position could allow them, just in their position, could allow them to join NATO. I don't see that happening. And long before President Putin, Russia was very strong on the fact that I believe that's the reason the war started. Because Biden went out and said that they could join NATO, and he shouldn't have said that. As soon as he said that, I said, you know what? You're going to have a war now, and I was right about that. This is a war that would have never happened if I were president.
But you don't think it's President Biden's fault, not President Putin? I mean, he's the one.
I think Biden is incompetent, and I think when he said that they could join NATO, I thought that was a very stupid thing to say. I thought when he said, well, it depends if it's a minor incursion. In other words, it's okay if Russia does a minor incursion. I thought that was a very foolish thing to say. Yesterday were.
Liv, I know you're not huge into this whole Ukraine thing. I just, what's your gut on this? I mean, you know, I don't have any love lost for Russia at all. Here is the footage of the attack so you can get an idea. Here is the actual footage that they're claiming. And I'm not saying that this is fake. I have not had a chance to confirm it, and I'll go through it. I will tell you, it looks to be fairly extensive for a Shahed drone. And if it's a singular target, it's a little confusing to me. Now, FLIR is going to make this look a lot worse than it is. But you can watch this here. Now, this is going to be the first time that Ukraine has. I just want to be really honest with y'all. This isn't the first time that Ukraine has put out fake news and set up things to blame it on Russia when it's not. When they attacked the Kremlin, they said they didn't do it. The Nord Stream 2 pipeline, we know the ghost of Kiev was a complete fabricated story. We know that the Skull Island, where the sailors supposedly stood their ground and went against the Russian Navy and they were all killed, was a fake story. This isn't the first time Ukraine puts out propaganda. And it's really important to understand is that Ukraine attacked the Kremlin with a drone about 7 months ago, very similar fashion to this. It's a high strike. It's on a non-structured, non-dependent structure that has any sympathetic explosions that would take place. It's on an external portion of the building. Fire and anti fire devices were implemented very quickly. I don't know. I'm not, like, when it comes to Ukraine and Russia, I don't put any of them, anything past them, because they are Russian. And Ukraine is corrupt, and so is Russia, and I don't care about either of them. Liv, like I said, I know you don't have a huge opinion on this, but your thoughts on this war, your thoughts on this conflict, and your thoughts on Zelensky and Putin.
I think that Ukraine is grasping at straws to try and get as much support as they can because they know Donald Trump it doesn't want to support him anymore. So I think they're doing everything in their power to get sympathy right now. I agree with Trump that if he was elected 4 years ago, a lot of the shit that happened over the last 4 years wouldn't have happened.
Right.
Guarantee freaking it. But to be honest, I don't know why we had to get involved. Why do we have to support this war? It's freaking across the world. Why do we care? Let them destroy each other. I don't care. Go for it. Destroy yourselves. It's not going to affect me one way or the other. Why do we have to be involved? Why are we funding this? It's absolutely ridiculous. Freaking kill as many of each other as you want to. Do whatever. And yeah, keep us out of it.
There's a ton of questions. So I'm going to try to address all of them.
You do that.
Just do I believe that Russia will ever change their government? No, because they don't have a government. They have oligarchs, just like Ukraine, and they have mafia, and those are the true power, the underbelly of Russia and Ukraine. This is why democracy didn't work in Russia. You guys know that they went from the red sickle or the yellow sickle and hammer to an American flag. Does anyone remember when the Russian Federation changed its colors to red, white, and blue?
No.
They did. So they did everything they could under Yeltsin and Gorbachev, and the hardline Politburo and KGB feel that they were sold out, and old school Russia will never let their country go back to Western civilization practices. So when Putin's gone, no. The thing about Russia is that there's like 5 or 6 people who are going to take the next position of Putin already in line. And CIA has dossiers written up on these guys. And the funny thing is all the way since Khrushchev, none of them have been correct. Boris Yeltsin was a no name. Gorbachev was a no name. Andropov was a no name.
Was Putin a no name before?
No, he was hardline KGB. But nobody expected him to rise as fast as he did. But he was most assuredly a focus, but not considered to be, a top 6 forward in the NHL. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, someone asked me, did Ukraine violate the Minsk agreement? And yeah, of course they did. Minsk was established in 2014 and 2015, and it was meant to end the conflict in Donbass. And it was really a conflict between Ukrainian and Russian forces, essentially a civil war. And they absolutely violated the Minsk agreement. They didn't grant special status to Donbass, number one. Refusal to hold elections. And look at this. This is what he's doing now. Continued military operations. But Russia and the separatists also did. They failed to withdraw troops and weapons. They obstructed the OSCE monitors and all that type of stuff. And they didn't hold unilateral elections either. So both failed to continue to follow the Minsk agreement. But Ukraine isn't innocent in this. And neither is Russia. They're both guilty in so many different ways. And I want people to understand is that Ukraine is a corrupt country. And Zelensky isn't holding elections right now because it's wartime. Well, that is not a very good sign for any leaders that aren't being supported by the United States to do. They tried this in Iraq, and that didn't go over very well. You don't hold elections because you're in an open conflict. In fact, you hold an election just in case you're an asshole who won't go to the table because of pride and have some sort of peace accord with these people. The Minsk agreement was violated by both countries, Russia and Ukraine. Nobody is particular. They are both guilty and they are both innocent in this in certain ways. Russia is the instigator. There's no doubt. But Russia, it's not just Ukraine that's the threat. And that's what the left always fucking leaves out. They're just like, oh, Ukraine's done nothing to Russia. That's not true. They've been in civil war since 2014. Russia has killed and mutilated Russian soldiers, attacked Russian civilians. They both have. They both traded blows. But this isn't just about that. This is about the Scandinavian countries. This is about constant expansion of NATO over since 1974, which was designed to hold certain European cities in a stasis of peace and protection with security forces, so Russia would not perform a blitzkrieg like the Nazis did. And then it literally just became a cash cow. It became Russia will never, ever be a threat on the world stage ever again. And essentially it allowed us to go ahead and put Russia in checkmate and put our focuses on the Middle East and China. So it needs to end. It needs to end. Period. End of story. Thanks for letting me do that, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move into wrapping it up. Folks,
I'll be right back.
donations are $71.99. Just want to let you know. And it's 2010. I know people like to hold till the end, so we're not going to focus on it too much. Liv, you're going to be right back, yeah? Okay, how long is that going to take? Should we take an extended break? So not prepared for this. How's everybody doing tonight? Oh shit. I don't have anything loaded. Well, we'll just we'll wing it. Olivia had to go toady and change her contacts. Nope, I don't have anything. So we'll just move into the news segment. Be right back.
Join WimKen.com, the social media platform built for free speech and true connection. No censorship, no algorithms controlling your feed, just genuine conversations and a commitment to protecting your rights. Sign up today at WimKen.com and take back your voice. Tell them Matt and the Dumb Show sent you.
Wimkin.com, folks, if you have not had a chance to go on over, please do so. Just a quick segment. Was watching some information on the Adam Carolla show, and I want to give you an update on California. What's up, JD? Yeah, Beefy, we've got all that. Just if you need something, just email the show, buddy. We'll get you taken care of. It's the easiest way. But you can go to Spreaker.com, and our RSS feed is right on Spreaker.com. Yeah, so here is the feed from Adam Carolla. And you guys should watch this. Gives you an update on California and what's going on. Here it is.
Club, which I'm a member of, is Pacific Coast Highway. This is along the water side. This is directly in front of where I live. And it is some of the most expensive real estate in the world. And it is gone, baby, gone.
Look like Gaza.
Down to the ground. Yeah, it's very Gauzian.
Gaza-esque?
Like very Gaza-esque. Now, it's now the thing that's weird, as I'll sort of narrate, is everything is melted and everything's down to the ground. There's nothing left, but it clears up at the beach club. The beach club, which I'm a member of, is untouched. Completely and utterly untouched. They did nothing, and then the fire, and then it came again. Now
your local watering hole has been spared.
We took vid going down PCH, and it is buildings that are untouched and then just total devastation. Wow. So everything down PCH is completely gone, and then stuff gets untouched, and then it's gone again.
I wonder why. Yeah, they just hiccup right over top of your house. I mean, granted, yours was built like concrete, but some other wood houses are.
I got the back hill on my house. The back hill was burnt down. Everything in front of my house is burnt down. This is a Porsche 928 carcass that was burnt to the ground, by the way. Risky business car for those
I
who
can clean
don't
up
know.
that title, but don't worry about it.
Yeah. And then it's just sort of eerie stairways nowhere, just metal stairways just hanging out over the ocean. Everything down to the ground. It's been over a month. There's zero cleanup. There's nothing.
Zero?
You saw it. I mean, nothing but rubble. Zero attempts at cleaning.
They're afraid of.
So that is California as we speak. Beefy, there is my RSS. No more questions. If you have any more questions, just email me. Matt@thedumbshow.com. Thanks, buddy. I gotta focus on the show, and my ADD won't allow me to. So there you go. Spreaker.com show. There it is. That's the RSS feed. Live California is untouched. California hasn't had any repairs. California is in a state of disarray, Malibu, the 101, some of the most expensive real estate. It shows you that Democrats don't care. But you and I know this. We've seen the roadways and bridges in LA. We've seen the infrastructure. We know what it's like.
Doesn't surprise me one bit.
No, the electrical system.
Yeah, does not surprise me one bit that there's no cleanup at all. None. I mean, I honestly was wondering if the fires were still going because I hadn't heard anything if they'd been put out or not.
Well, right. I mean, that's kind of the thing, right? It's like there is so much information from point A to point B every day, and things get lost. California's a mess.
California's always a mess.
Here's a video I thought you would like that I wanted to play for you. Just kind of a feel-good video.
Okay.
This road crew was burying irrigation and had a backhoe, and this kid had his truck, his dump truck, and he brings it out with his mom and dad, and the construction workers are like, whoa, wait a second, kid. As he's bringing in his dump truck that looks just like the backhoe. Here it is. And mom flips out. And he fill up his dump truck with dirt. And that kid is stoked after almost getting his ass beat.
And get that mom coming in freaking out.
Yeah. Maybe staged. Who cares?
I think it's adorable. It's still cute.
In today's day and age.
To be honest, I doubt it's staged because our kids did stupid shit like that. And freaking it only takes a half a second for them to bolt, man.
Yeah. Quick segment on Mark Milley. Oh, Amy, happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to you, Amy. I hope you guys are getting a bunch of chocolate and stuff. Hi, Yenny. Honey, go. There you go. Got my protein shake right here. We still got a dog down here? We certainly do. Dog's
She
sleeping.
even let me step over and she didn't move.
I want you guys to listen to this. This is some crazy shit because here's why this is important. I have told you some stuff that you haven't heard from a lot of places, but that the USAID has direct links to the CIA and the military-industrial complex. And I know this from personal experience. By the way, 600 and...
Got up 300 since we've been on?
29.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going up. And I'm about to show you that this is all unraveling. And as I told you this before you heard this anywhere, I don't think anyone heard this. And you're going to hear it again here, but now you're going to hear it from Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, who is smoke show and really smart.
Gain employment. Now, as a member of Congress,
Liv, I need you to hear this one. This one's
and
important.
USAID has absolutely broken the trust with the American people and not been transparent about where our taxpayer dollars are going. There's an individual by the name of Mike Benz. He actually served over at the State Department for a while, and he's been going on to expose a lot of what USAID has been doing, which, being a member of oversight and being on this committee, I wanted to verify and see if he was telling the truth, which, much to my disappointment, he was. And I say that because I'm disappointed that our taxpayer dollars are funding some of these items. I mean, to just put this in perspective, in 2021, the Special Operations Command under Mark Milley, as chairman of the Joint Chiefs, put out an instruction.
Now, I told you guys this stuff like 2 weeks ago when USAID, they started going after it. And I told you the reason why a lot of it was CIA front companies and the ability to circumvent the Senate Oversight Committee and Appropriations Committee. Thank you, Mike Thompson, for subscribing over on Facebook. Let's everyone give him a big welcome. It should say that automatically when he joins the Dumb Nation over on Facebook. We appreciate you very much for joining that club. $1.99 a month, and it just gets you a place to chat with all the other dummies. But now you're going to start seeing these things unravel. And the DOD, wait till they do that comb through, because that's where the real corruption is. The DOD is in the trillions. Some estimations are, for a fact, we've seen 2024, 2023, 2022, on average about $3.25 trillion in unaccounted dollars from the Department of Defense. These are incredible numbers. for all 3 years combined, when their entire budget for the Department of Defense is a little shy, south $762 billion, I believe. So to see that much fraud and waste is incredible. But in order for them to run their private wars, clandestine operations, counterintelligence, circumventing governments, rigging elections, all of this type of stuff, this isn't appropriated through the Senate anymore, and it's not approved through the House. They will use DOD dollars to go ahead and funnel it through USAID, and this is where you're going to see the corruption. She is exposing some of it, so here we go.
Manual, a vision for 2021 and beyond that contained instructions and examples on how the military could work with the State Department, Intel Services, and USAID using race riots. Here's examples of some of the instruction manuals here, 1 and 2, in order to destabilize nations. In addition to that, they advocated for setting up job fairs near some of these riots so that disaffected workers could gain employment. Now, as a member of Congress, I ask myself, did anyone in USAID get elected to Congress? How about to a presidency? When you are acting in the shadows and you are destabilizing nations using race wars to do it and then advocating that the military does it, in my opinion, not only do you put the future generations that would have to fight in those wars in jeopardy, but at the end of the day, you're operating without any oversight. So I guess the question for you guys is, Mr. Natsios, is that something that you were aware of? Are you aware that that instruction manual is being promoted not just with the military under Milley, but that USAID may be operating in this capacity? Because in my opinion, and I'm sure I speak on behalf of many of my constituents, I don't think that's where our taxpayer dollars need to be going.
Well, I completely agree with you. Personally, I doubt very much that what you've been told is accurate. But let me just tell you.
I'm telling you right now, I brought the receipts, okay? And the reason, I'm not trying to argue with you, but I find this disturbing on so many capacities. And I would like to also just, if I can, sir, Mike Benz, what he's exposing and bringing receipts, I've confirmed it. Thank you for doing that on behalf of the American people, because I understand that when you take on the intelligence agencies, we're also now finding that apparently in this manual, that they're also advocating for social media campaigns illuminating controversy to a global audience. I mean, using disinformation campaigns, is this happening here in our own country? Where's the oversight?
Just to ask you, who in the agency, what bureau,
I just said, you can actually find that instruction in this manual that Milley approved.
Military manual, isn't it?
Yes, but Milley approved it. You have it right here, USAID, working with government agencies. I mean, this is not...
Wait a second, did AID say that, or did the military say AID?
Well, that would be the question for you, sir.
Well, I don't
mean,
think
these
AID
operations,
wrote that.
Sorry to interrupt you, these operations that are taking place without government oversight, without the authority of the president, without the authority of Congress, real men and women serve and they die because of stuff like this. When you destabilize nations without any oversight, we have to fight those wars. You have our chairman right here that literally risked his life. No, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm frustrated. I know it's not necessarily your fault.
But I'm telling you,
but as a head of an agency, that's not.
I'm telling what Ben's told you is nonsense.
That's not nonsense. These are the information and forms. And Ben's put this out to the American people.
AID did not write that,
Sir, I disagree with you on so many levels, and I appreciate you being here
How
today.
do you know they?
Okay, I'll wait.
It's not easy. How do I know what?
That any person can write AID's name into a manual. It goes on all the time.
They are advocating that the U.S. military work with taxpayer-funded State Department, USAID funds to destabilize nations. That is unacceptable. I don't care who wrote it. USAID needs to come down and condemn it. They need to provide oversight to Congress on exactly where our tax dollars are going. And I know I might be at 17 seconds with our time, but sir, I hope that you agree. Can I, yes or no, do you agree that this is wrong, period?
Should this be happening? I think the military should be held accountable. I think it's nonsense.
And should USAID condemn it?
Nonsense to suggest that AID wrote that.
Should they condemn it?
The military should.
Should USAID also condemn this?
Of course, we don't comment. AID does not comment on military manuals.
Folks, plausible deniability is a real thing. And I will tell you that intelligence agencies work autonomously unless they are attached to a greater department. And there is no greater department than the Central Intelligence Agency. They are an autonomous unit. Their funding is not only approved by Congress, but they have secondary and discretionary funds that can be provided to them to expand clandestine missions that are only seen by a very few of people. People with security access far beyond mine, and even, surprisingly enough, far beyond the President of the United States and the Joint Chiefs.
How can they do that?
What do you mean, how can they do that? They've been doing it since frickin' the OSS in World War II. The Office of... Thank you so much, Joanne. Happy Valentine's Day. Appreciate you. Because the cat and mouse game of the CIA has been going on with Congress. Vietnam, Korea, Indochina, Laos. These secret wars that were being conducted. The secret wars between the FBI, CIA, Politburo, KGB, Spetsnaz was all done during the Reagan administration. And over 4,000 intelligence agents were killed. The FBI has been projected as this domestic white-collar and blue-collar crime organization when they have been a spy network for pretty much right after Kennedy up into Nixon. The FBI started getting involved into counterintelligence. They got involved in counterterrorism under Bush. They were absolutely doing wet works and spy work inside the United States against Russian assets. And CIA was working overseas in Russia, Slovenia, Czechoslovakia, Ukraine, and other countries, essentially trying to get into nuclear facilities. This has been going on forever. And you can look at Fast and Furious that was done by Holder, Attorney General. You can look at the drug running that we did in South America. You can look at Operation Mongoose in Cuba. The CIA has been responsible for installing governments and removing leaders, political assassinations, coups d'etats, inciting revolutions, organizing resistance in countries and destabilizing governments. This is what they do. And after Vietnam and Indochina, CIA became responsible for disclosing their overall budget to oversight in closed-door sessions of Congress, where they would have to explain the money that Congress gave them, where it was going to go. And this hampered the CIA's capability and honestly got us struck in 9/11. Now, a lot of people are like, 9/11 was done by the government. And okay, whatever, Cure, just go fuck off in a corner somewhere. The adults are talking. But the lack of intelligence that took place pre-9/11 left us exposed, and most of that was due to budget cuts and budget restrictions that were applied to the CIA and Senate oversight. And they continued to constrict our intelligence apparatus from a human intelligence standpoint all around the world. And although satellites are great and digital is great and all that's wonderful, human intelligence is still the best source for accurate intelligence because it's real time and you can develop it and you can assess it with eyes on and ears on from a human being that can tell you what's happening and can work into situations that a satellite or a laser can't. So what we started doing after 9/11 is reappropriating dollars from the defense budget into organizations like the USAID, which would have fronts inside of it that were CIA controlled and operated overseas. So this creates plausible deniability. This creates this guy going, what? USAID didn't write that. You have military special forces and special operations command, SOCOM, that are saying USAID most assuredly is funded through the Central Intelligence Agency, through the Department of Defense, and there are dummy corporations, and they're being used by chiefs of staffs and the Joint Chiefs to conduct clandestine operations overseas. And they're like, well, I didn't write that. It's the old Potomac two-step, plausible deniability. Well, it's not me. I didn't know about these companies. All I do is go ahead and make sure that this money's distributed. And then the CIA goes, we have no idea what you're talking about. We don't recall that event, Senator. I don't recollect, Senator. And then you got the military who goes and says, well, those people are no longer in the administration, and we have a new administration now. And as of right now, we can either confirm or deny any information. And it just stops. And then they just keep doing it.
Didn't Kennedy want to dissolve the CIA?
Yes. And
Do you think that's one of the reasons?
Well, sure. Kennedy made some very powerful enemies very quick, but the reason why Kennedy was assassinated, I've said it a million times, is because he didn't want to go to war in Vietnam. They found him soft on communism, and they found that his decisions from civil rights, from equal rights, from expanding Social Security, all the things that he wanted to do, is that he was putting the nation in a very tough corner when it came to communism and was losing the race on public world opinion. In honor of Chaos Girl for helping the people of North Carolina. Thanks, Kevster.
That's Jane from Rumble.
Thanks, Jane from Rumble. So I want people to understand is that this guy, you saw how defensive he's getting. All he would have to say is, I can't speak about what somebody wrote in a Special Forces memo or a training booklet. That has nothing to do with me, and I'm not aware of that. But Congressman, of course I disavow that. But if he says that, and he is tied or signed any of those dotted lines, he's then held culpable. This is the standard thing. Deny, deny, deny. So I'm here to tell you from someone 28 years ago knows that USAID and other programs are used for CIA clandestine operations as dummy corps or shell companies, or a way to take money and not launder it, but tie it into so many different hands that what it's used for is essentially under the cover of darkness, where shadow operations thrive.
Can the CIA, do you think it can ever be like replaced or shut down or anything, or no?
No, we wouldn't want to replace the CIA. Destabilization of governments is a good thing. Controlling the world's economy is a good thing. Being able to run wars and fund rebels and dissension amongst possible threats in the United States is a very powerful thing. I think the CIA should absolutely continue. I just believe that either we set aside a question mark dollar amount every single year and we just don't get to have any of those questions answered, or we have a full account of every dollar they spend and to know why. Now, some people are like, "Are you fucking kidding me? That's a populist, a globalist agenda." Dude, there's a reason why there hasn't been a world war since World War II. And it has everything to do with NATO. It has everything to do with CIA. I'm sorry that you don't like the answer to that, but if we didn't go and clear out the Congo, if we didn't go ahead and clear out Egypt, if we didn't go ahead and back militants in Syria, if we didn't go ahead and go into Mosul and Bosnia and Herzegovina and supply CIA in Greece against the helping the Afghanis versus Russia, this would be a very different world. Run wars that the CIA instigates, Evelyn, that's so naive. You just don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea what you're saying. So I'm not going to sit here and allow you to talk about things you don't know. So to say the CIA instigates wars is just a stupid comment. Sorry. You just don't know what the CIA has done. Do I believe that CIA has created quagmires and problems? Sure. They created Osama bin Laden. They created Al Qaeda. They created ISIS. I'm aware. They created Gaddafi. They created Iraq. They created the Mujahideen in Iran. I understand that. But that wasn't their overall goal. This is the problem when you cut CIA funding and all of a sudden you've got a guy like Osama bin Laden who has been fighting the Russians for a decade and a half against, and you leave him out in the cold with no air support, no weaponry, no nothing, and the CIA can't fund it anymore because they get the light turned on, and then all of a sudden those people become militants against the West. Osama bin Laden was a CIA asset. And that's not conspiracy theory because you can look it up. He had code name access. He had regular appointments. He was a freedom fighter under the guise of a CIA contractor working against Russia. We created these people. This is a dangerous game. Intelligence is no fucking joke. But to say the CIA has started, which wars has the CIA started? Vietnam, Laos, Indochina, they had a big part of it. But to say they started it, they were trying to prevent communism. Unless you've researched the Office of Strategic Services, unless you've researched the CIA, unless you've researched the things that they have done, they have a very difficult job to take some of the worst people and to interrogate, turn, and absorb what they know by any means possible. And with that comes a lot of messy stuff. And when you're trying to smuggle SS and Nazi scientists in order to understand their rocket technology and keep up with the Russians for the next war, which was the Cold War, you have to get your hands dirty, and you have to do some pretty abhorrent stuff. This is why CIA should not work in the United States and why attaching themselves to another agency. They are an international spy organization. And every other major country has international spy organizations, just like the CIA, trying to do these things to us. And we have to defend ourselves. Was the CIA behind the creation of the SR-71? I am not going to have that conversation because my grandfather was in direct, was one of the people responsible for developing the SR-71 and the U-2 spy plane. I will not discuss it.
While you were talking, Stephen Cornett donated $30.
Stephen, thank you. I didn't see it pop up.
It popped up right when you saw Evelyn's question and you were...
Stephen, thank you so much
Yeah.
for that. Is Stephen is he a new donor?
No.
Oh, okay.
Donated before. It was $30. And we can't do emojis or any special characters on the special note. So he put a present emoji up there.
Thank you. A lot of people say, well, because you didn't answer that question, you answered the question. That's not true. I'm not going to talk about Skunk Works. I have a relative who worked with Skunk Works. I have a relative who worked on the B-52. I have a relative who was intimately involved with the SR-71 and the U-2 spy plane. I just won't talk about it because it's just not a good idea. So, but I think we know that high altitude reconnaissance aircraft was absolutely something that the NRO and CIA needed in order to be effective against Cuba and Russia. MK Ultra. I told you they do dirty work. The OSS did things that were worse than that. Go read about Wild Bill Donovan. Go read about the OSS, which was the CIA before it became the CIA. Go read the shit that they did in World War II. Folks, it's not a clean business. The CIA has to do some pretty terrible shit, and sometimes that terrible shit backfires. I'm not saying that the CIA are good and wholesome people. What I'm saying are they do and work with some of the most evil and depraved human beings on the planet. And in order to do that, you have to be a little bit evil and depraved yourself, and it sometimes backfires. But to say that the CIA started out to create wars that the United States would get into, that's insane. They didn't start World War I. They didn't start World War II. They certainly had some involvement with Indochina. They certainly had involvement with the Iran hostage situations and doing the bidding of England. And Iran was relatively peaceful, and their impact and their influence pushed the Shahs to power and the Ayatollah to power a little bit. Sure. But it's not like we didn't try to go ahead and take the Ayatollah out. It's not like we didn't see these things happening. We saw them radicalizing. We saw them starting to compete with Saudi Arabia and Iraq and wanted to be a strong Muslim nation and a powerhouse in the Middle East. We understand this. Their nation building and their defensive structures and investing in offensive weaponry was a fast scale to be a Iraq 2.0 or a Saudi Arabia. Either a oil-rich company with massive influence or a heavy military, strong, innovative military like Iraq. One of the two is going to take place, and Iran, we tried to slow that down because we saw some of the signs that were coming out of Libya. We saw the things that were happening in the Sudan and Egypt, and we were trying to get ahead of the Middle East because it wound up becoming literally like another Europe, but everybody was fucking crazy. Everybody was Europe. Or everybody was crazy, but it's Europe. That's what the Middle East was. So did the CIA fuck it up? Sure. But did they start wars? No. But did they certainly take sides and run proxies and clandestine operations? They sure fucking did. Yep. They sure did. So Evelyn, I'm not trying to come down on you, but I don't like that. When people, you can criticize the CIA. You can ask questions on the CIA. You can ask questions on the FBI. Yes, 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 do it. They need to have oversight for sure. But to say that the CIA hasn't done incredible things for the U.S. and you speaking U.S. Or English right now and not German and Japanese, I got to give it to him.
Stephen Cornett just made a comment of this is his favorite show.
Well, good. I'm glad it's your favorite show. MK Ultra was a. Have you seen The Manchurian Candidate?
Yes, we watched it together. It's been a while, but
yeah,
yes.
the new one.
No.
No, we saw the new one.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that was the new one.
Yeah, no, there was an old Manchurian. So CIA program for the 50s and the 70s. Alan Dulles was behind it. Alan Dulles is the one that was the head of the Warren Commission for Kennedy. He was also the director of the CIA and was subsequently fired. It all tied around Cold War espionage and LSD and psychoactive substances to essentially these experiments were designed to like keep people into a stasis of break glass in case of emergency. And with certain code words and certain activation words would then kind of do the bidding of doing assassinations, do that when the code word comes on and then another word is given and then they wouldn't remember it. It was very the Captain America, Winter Soldier-ish, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Creating these lethal machines and using drugs and things of that effect to ultimately have them do horrible stuff. All happened. People need to watch the good show. If you want to learn about the CIA, and this is to everybody here who I care about, go watch The Good Shepherd. And that will teach you about what they did during the Cold War, truly. And MK is simple as mind control, by the way. Mind control, but with a K. And that ultimately is a signal and a nod to Russia. And the things about MK Ultra that a lot of people don't know is that there were like variations. There was MK Ultra, there was MK Delta, MK Alpha, and there was different responsibilities for each of these MK projects. Some of them were for mind control. Some of them were for biochemical weapons, all sorts of shit. And this is what the CIA did. And it was very similar to what the Nazis did. Nazis experimented on people. Nazis did psychotropic experiments on people. They did horrible shit to people. Somebody said Benghazi was CIA gone wrong. CIA screws up a lot. CIA, you don't know what they do right. So to say the CIA screws up a lot is an unfair assessment when everything they're touching is already screwed up. Unfucking a situation is a lot harder than fucking a situation. And saying the CIA screws up a lot, they do. They make mistakes, and they have. And our intelligence apparatus in the United States has made insurmountable mistakes. And I am one of the hardest people on our intelligence agency because I worked with them. But I will tell you, the CIA does some things that are absolutely freaking incredible that you will never know about, never understand. And you just can't. Benghazi equals CIA op go wrong. Well, Benghazi was a lack of intelligence and a lack of assets and a lack of action on the U.S. military from the Clinton days that were never fixed. And the annex and the CIA during Benghazi was literally, this is a whole other conversation and one we don't have time for, but maybe we can go into it on Monday. And let's break down Benghazi and let's talk about what the CIA was doing there. And
that would be a good one on Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. Sorry.
When Leroy's here.
Sorry.
Doing that intel shit is you and Leroy.
Yeah. So something to talk about. But, it's easy to say the Secret Service is, they always screw up. Well, you don't see the 3,700 death threats that they get that they prevent every single year. You just don't. And you don't see the hundreds of things that the CIA gets from trafficking situations, from money laundering, from seizing bank accounts to doing not political hits, but sometimes political hits, let's be honest. But they create stability where instability is happening. And you just don't get to hear that. Now, someone said, can the CIA be reformed? Sure. But it will never work in the light of day and be effective. We've tried that. It doesn't work. Senators don't shut their fucking mouth. The whole thing about getting bin Laden was a CIA op. And that shit, Zero Dark 30, was completely leaked by senators and people were talking about it. That shit was leaked to press an hour before Obama went live. Olivia and I saw the Black Hawk chopper, which is a clandestine chopper. It's not silenced, but it is a muffled chopper, and its back rotary is suppressed. And I saw the back half of that hanging out on that compound and said, "Fuck, a SEAL made a mistake. That's a clandestine chopper." And then I slapped my hand over my mouth. Do you remember that when that was live and when I said that?
Yeah.
And my face went white because I was still in at the point. In a very remote sense, my clearance was still active. I was read in on certain programs still, and yeah, it was a long time after. But that stuff has a sticking point. And when I saw that on national TV, I'm like, fucking Christ! They just literally had photographs, and I just looked at Olivia. I said, "Don't say anything." And then I went outside and I got on the phone and I called it in. If you breach something like that, even inadvertently, you call it in. But that back half rotary where they bombed that Black Hawk, and they used EOD to go ahead and detonate that, they did not apply enough detonation material to make that thing completely obliterate, and the back half of that chopper was out of the United States, in Afghanistan, and then to China within 3 days. So something to think about. Anyway, tangents, man. I try. It's hard sometimes.
The Dumb Store is veteran-owned with a 5-star diamond rating for service and satisfaction. We offer quality products like coffee, shirts, hoodies, and hats, all made by veterans. Shop with confidence, backed by hundreds of 5-star reviews. Use code DUMB10 to save 10%. Visit thedumbshow.com today. Thank you for your support.
Yep, they do have proof on the FEMA. Evelyn says that is why they blew it up. They didn't blow it up. 3 of the charges on the back half of the tail rotor didn't go off. So when it blew, the retaining wall snapped it in half and it fell behind the retaining wall. And a camera crew got on it from Pakistani news. So they didn't blow it up. It was all over CNN. It was all over Al Jazeera. It was on the BBC. Olivia and I were sitting right there, and I saw it, and I was like, shit. And that chopper at the time was state of the art and was pretty hush-hush. It's no joke that China came out with their own like a year and a half later. So the point I'm trying to make is, yeah, they tried to blow it up, but they didn't. So there was a ball drop there. But my point is that the CIA, what you don't know about the CIA is 1,000 times more than the failures that you do know about. Because that's the first rule. If you fuck up at Intel, everybody knows. And if you don't, nobody knows. That's just the way it works. I'm just not, I'm not, bye, Evelyn. Well, they tried. Yeah, they tried, Evelyn, and they failed. Horribly. Anyway, Evelyn, it seems that you and I go through this every couple months where we just seem to be at odds. I'm not sure what we're fighting about or what you're arguing about. I'm telling you that the team fucked up. It's not the first time. But we can point it at the CIA, but we can't talk about the SEAL team saying that they fucked up, I guess. Liv, there was a Fairfax, Virginia school board meeting and how they're bringing gender studies for elementary schools. Figured you'd want to see it and would like to get you to comment on this. Folks, it is 20:51. We are 9 minutes away from the top of the hour, 138.44 to our goal. It's the end of the weekend and going into Valentine's Day. We hope you're having a wonderful Valentine's Day. If you have not had a chance.
Thanks for being with us on your Valentine's Day.
It's huge that we've got 250. How many on Rumble? 65, 55, 60?
Let me look.
So we've got almost 300 on. We are not meant to know what all the CIA does. It would cause a lot of panic in our country. Fuck yes.
We are 64.
64. So we're plus 300 on the network. Congratulations. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, Steve, if people knew what the CIA did and how many close calls we had, I'm not saying the CIA is a pure and as driven snow organization. I've openly said they play in refuse in the swamp, and they make mistakes. There's no doubt. But people are like, oh, you need to defund the CIA. I disagree. I think people have a very long history of a blanket of security that's been provided, and we have messed up 2 times very, very badly. One of them being Pearl Harbor, and the second one being 9/11, and we've done a pretty fucking good job since then. Now, there have been mistakes, a lot of domestic mistakes, but the U.S. has remained relatively safe compared to the rest of the world. Most of our problems are our own citizens killing each other, not necessarily a bunch of jihadists going across the street and trying to blow us up and kill us, or some crazy fucking skinhead who wants to release a biochemical in the middle of Times Square. So pardon me when I say that our intelligence apparatus fucks up a lot, but they also do a lot of good. And I think it's very foolish for us to gut the DOD. What I want is accountability. I don't think we should spend less. I think we should spend exactly what we're spending, but actually account for all the loss that we have, which would help us out a whole hell of a lot. Here is the video I wanted to show you. And if we don't hit our goal in the next 7 minutes, we're probably just going to call it a night. It's been a long week. We're tired. And I have spent, I realized I was looking and counting tonight. I have been on for almost 15, 16 hours.
Yeah, you did several 3-hour a couple.
Yeah, I'm a little tired.
And the puppy has decided that 7 o'clock is her wake up time.
Yeah, and I'm tired. It's been a long week. So you know what? If we can get a surge of love from the dummies, we would appreciate it. Here we go.
Is approaching preschool age, and we are faced with the decision of. I'm Kaylee Weichbrot. I'm a mom of 2 in Fairfax County. This is my oldest, and my husband and I have a difficult decision to make this fall, as he is approaching preschool age, and we are faced with the decision of whether or not we are going to put our child in public school system where Fairfax County has decided to move forward.
Melanie, that's a whole nother conversation about Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor was not a mistake. They needed it to get us in the war. We can have that conversation. I've had it before in the show. You should go look up the Pearl Harbor show I did in the first year, where I go over some of those things. There's no doubt that No doubt there were some severe intelligence lapses. I would say it was more arrogance than anything, but we can go into that.
Forward with instituting gender studies in elementary school. Despite having done a...
Hey, Karen, I'm sorry. I know you guys are asking questions, but I'm also considering that if we have to jump off at the end of this. I gave you the Doge website, which will have all of that for you. But yeah, if you go to the Doge website, they are doing constantly updates on what has been counted. Elon said that there was going to be receipts actually added today. I'm going to see if they have that. They have updated the receipts. Yeah, they've updated a bunch of stuff, so go take a look. But that's a great place to get information now. I visited every morning. Here's the video.
Group, a focus.
Carrie says you should take a break sometimes. I don't know how you and Olivia find the energy. We have to pay the rent. We got to pay the mortgage. We got bills. We got to keep the company going. So Olivia is amazing, and that's why she has her 2 nights off a week to go and the weekends off. And I don't stop. And I won't stop. I can't stop. But you know, it gets tiring. You know, and it's hard sometimes because I don't like the waiting till the end for the donations, and I know you guys like to do it. And I think it's, you know, it's cute, but it stresses me out because I'm just thinking of all the money we're spending. And I'm like, you know, it gets stressful sometimes. So I think we handle it okay. But at the end of the week on a Friday, I'm kind of like, just like, okay, you know what? I just want to have a smooth night. I love to get it out of the way so I don't have to stress about it. But it is what it is, guys. This isn't your responsibility. It's my show. It's my company. It's what I want to do. If you can help, you help. If you can't help, you can't help. That's the way it works. It's fine. It just gets a little stressful. That's all. Here it is.
Group in the community to see if parents even wanted this. And when parents said no, the board voted 16-0 and said we're moving forward anyways. This shows clearly that they see parents not as partners, but as an obstacle for their agenda. And I have a really hard time looking at him and going, here, I'm just going to give you over to people who do not want to partner with me in how you're going to be raised. School and education.
Ian says, why is this lady talking about this, holding her young kid if she doesn't want it discussed? My question to you is, why aren't you listening to what she has to say and focusing on the young kid?
Is a huge part of a child's life. And early childhood is supposed to be filled with exploration and creativity and fun.
Nobody ever needs to apologize for not donating. Don't ever apologize. It's not designed for that. I'm not saying that. We make our goal. The dummies come through. They always do. I'm not worried about it. It's just, you got to understand, it's a tip-based position, right? So this is how we provide the show. It's not everybody's responsibility to donate. We just hope that people have the ability, and when they do, they can. That's it. No one never needs to apologize. We love you.
Not debating issues that are for adults to handle. These kinds of topics should be introduced sensitively and by parents who are raising their children with their values, not with an ideology passed down from the top. And so this isn't about discrimination. This is about age appropriateness. This is about parents being parents and the school being the support system to parents.
Night, Tiffany.
That it was created to be. I'm urging legislators to oppose the bill, like the Hashmi bill, and amendments that could further erode parental involvement and religious freedoms. Parents should be the primary educators in their children's lives and the protectors of their children's values. And so this is why we're here, to protect diverse family values and make sure that our children stay safe. And to the Fairfax County School Board, we really need you to listen. You have been elected. You have been put there to represent our voice. When you chose to make the decision to be on the school board, did you have us in mind? or an agenda. And you really need to think about who are you there to represent, because the parents don't want this. Our schools should be partners with parents, not ideological adversaries.
Yeah, I don't know what the big deal is having your child there. She's not talking about mutilating a penis or reassigning a vagina. She's presenting herself and her unit of her family. Thank you so much, Steve. We appreciate you. Present emoji. We appreciate you, Bubba. Thank you. Liv, your thoughts. I mean, we're very open and honest with our children. We share with them what's on the news. We share world situations. We only have a certain amount of time with our children on this mortal coil. And I always look at it as today is my last. Have I taught my child how to be a free thinker? Have I taught them how to question authority? Have I taught them how to be logical and deductive? Why not start them at this age? We started them at this age. What are your thoughts, hon?
Well, it doesn't surprise me that Fairfax is doing it, and glad it's not LCPS. Glad it's Fairfax and not us.
Yeah.
No, I think we are a little different with our parenting because we were willing to sacrifice a little bit of our kids' innocence to make sure that they were protected, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
They watched the news with us at dinner. We taught them to ask questions. We explained things to them. They watched when there were school shootings and we were watching the news. They saw things. And I know a lot of people looked at us with disapproval, including my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And they did not approve of how we were raising our children. But I would rather they know these things are happening and know that the world is evil and that they have an idea of it at a young age so they can prepare themselves
And
for
watch
it.
out for it, right?
And I mean,
Kitty.
We only have a small amount, but at 18, they are just shoved into this world. And a lot of parents don't tell their kids about the world.
Right.
And at 18, they walk into this world still in a protective bubble, and they have absolutely no idea of what they're going to do. And that's what happened to me. I was completely in a protective bubble. I didn't know how to do anything. And I was like, what the heck? And I was so lost and naive about everything in the world. And I don't want that for my children. I'm okay with them losing some innocence just so they know. And I do miss Texas for their school district. I miss Texas for it's always parents first and Constitution and everything else. And I love the fact that when Hayden was in second grade, her elementary school did an actual live shooter drill with police, fire, paramedics, and the vice principal dressed up in black with a water gun and went around shooting kids with a water gun. So the kids would understand what the situation was about. And all the kids knew that that was the vice principal because he didn't have a face covering on. They know it's him, but they understand what's going on. And parents were told ahead of time that this was happening. If you do not want your child to be involved, either pick them up early that day or we will keep them in the office while that is going on. So we were very open with that, and we were all for Hayden doing it, even though she was 8 and in second grade.
Yep. It stuck with her too.
It did. She can still remember every single second of that.
Yeah.
And she can tell you exactly how she felt and what was going on. But I would rather that stick with her when she was 8. So if it happens at her high school, that kicks in and she knows what she's doing, as opposed to cowering like most people are going to do when there's a gunshot and not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
I would rather her know that. And to be honest, I think our kids are growing up to be fantastic. Hayden she's at that point where she's a young adult and she's who she's going to be. And we're done influencing her. We can guide her and direct her, but she's who she is going to be. Ethan, on the other hand, still needs some help.
He needs some help.
We love him dearly.
He's fine.
But he's an 11-year-old boy who still can't manage to zip up his fly half the time. So we love him. He needs some work, but he's getting there.
Folks, we are essentially $142 shy of our goal. Honestly, I don't have much more in me, so we're gonna read this out, then we're probably gonna call it a night. But you know what? We appreciate you, love you, and thank you. Fairfax County Public Schools Committee creates a draft of plan to implement gender ideology in the elementary school curriculum. This was back in January, and the video I just showed you. It's going to explore instruction on gender identity in elementary school, starting at tender young age of 6 years old. The meetings, every FLECAC member. Lois, thank you, hon. You're the best. Thank you, Lois. Appreciate your donation. Thank you, ma'am. The idea was to introduce gender identity to the curriculum as early as first grade. The Fairfax Schools Monitor reported that the committee voted for this proposal 16-0 with no parents notified. Did this in the cover of darkness.
I'd be so pissed.
This proposal has children in kindergarten. Thank you so much, Jean. Happy Valentine's Day, $21.10. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Learning about two-parent guardian families, including mother and father, two mothers, two fathers, and a child. The draft also states for first grade discussions will include ways people are different, including race, cultures, traditions, religions, disability. Dignity will be defined, and the definition of respect will be reviewed. Ways to treat each others will be presented. And then here we go. So all that sounds great so far. Fine. The draft states that the terms sex assigned at birth and gender identity will be defined. Identity will include the idea that for some people, their sex assigned at birth and gender identity are the same, and for some people, their sex assigned at birth and gender identity are different. The draft further states students will define pronouns and recognize why some people may use pronouns that differ from their sex assigned at birth or gender neutral. Fairfax Schools continue to report December meeting. Committee voted to add the word gender to the first grade curriculum. Parents defending education on the FLECAC page said that the meetings explore instruction of gender identity in elementary and more inclusive FLE curriculum overall. It's all written here. You can look this up.
I'd be so pissed. I'd be pissed if that was high school. That doesn't need to be in any, it's a school, STEM. Teach the basics. That's what they're there to learn.
Right.
They're not there to learn about your ideology. If you want to influence a child, go have your own. Don't influence other people's.
Amen. Best statement of the night for sure. If you want to influence a child, go have your fucking own. Go to the local kennel and go and adopt a child and get yourself a brand new furry child anytime you want. Otherwise, leave my kids alone. We're sick of this shit.
Yep.
Figured you'd want to know. We're about $100 short, $99 short. I do have one more video I have to play. This is one of the hostages that was released, American hostages. And this was to Donald Trump. And I thought it was beautiful. Media, I didn't see it on any media stations.
Of course not. Why would they?
So I wanted to have you guys take a look. Here you go. Oh, that's officially in overtime. At this point, the wheels can come off. It's fine.
My name is Keith Siegel, and I'm a 65-year-old American citizen. I love country music, and I love pancakes on Saturday morning, but that was my previous life. Since February 1, I am a newly released Hamas hostage. I'm a survivor. I was held for 484 days in unimaginable conditions. Every single day felt like it could be my last. President Trump, you are the reason I am home alive. You are the reason I was reunited with my beloved wife, 4 children, and 5 grandchildren. Thank you for your continued fight against terror and for your bold leadership that has brought me and many others back home to our families, to safety and to security. When I was in Gaza, I lived in constant fear for my life and for my personal safety. I was starved and I was tortured, both physically and emotionally. When the war intensified, the terrorists who held me treated me even worse than usual. Terrorists kicked me, spat on me, and held me with no water, no light, and no air to breathe. Mr. President, once again, your leadership, power, and authority are necessary to enforce the ceasefire and put an end to the unnecessary daily dangers to the lives of innocent hostages and civilians. Your leadership and strength will ensure the agreement is honored by all sides. That is what will allow all 76 hostages to return home to their families. I trust your strength and leadership, Mr. President. The helpless hostages in the dark, cold tunnels in Gaza also trust you. Please bring them home.
Wow. That should be in every news station. The left will never play that because they can never give President Trump
My name is Keith Siegel, and I'm...
Go ahead, babe.
They won't give President Trump any victory whatsoever.
Frank, thank you, buddy. Thanks for a great week. Love your show. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you, Frank. We appreciate you. What can I say about the USS Harry S. Truman? I can't say anything. I'll be able to say something Monday. What is this? It's a hostage released from Hamas that President Trump was responsible for. Hamas has agreed to follow the ceasefire agreement, releasing 3 hostages. Hamas is back on course. It'll probably stay Trump's hand, but they have limited time. Trump wants them all released. Thank you, Bobby. We love you, hun. You're amazing.
Thank you.
You're amazing, Bobby. How did he survive without water and air? Is this some sort of joke? What's...
Ian, can I just say something? Shut the fuck up. You're being distracting.
Can we
and
just
you're
ban
being
him?
annoying.
Just fucking ban him. Fuck this guy.
Annoying. Just
Can someone ban this fucking douchebag? I'm so sick of this fucking guy. So Ian O'Reilly, ban his ass. Like, I've had to put up with him for over a year, and I'm just fucking sick of him. He's just a cunt. Can't stand these people. Kevster 2110, thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Much. If you want, we can show my video on Monday.
No, I'm gonna do it right now.
Okay.
I'm not done. She's having a dream. She's over here barking.
I was gonna say.
I don't know what we mean. How did you survive without air and water?
He's just being an asshole. Just
no. Amy asked that, and
okay.
if I'm not mistaken, I thought they said they restricted or held back. I mean, let me listen. I don't know.
February 1, I am a newly released. Every single day felt like it could be my last. President Trump, you are the reason I am home alive. You are the reason I was reunited with my beloved wife, 4 children, and 5 grandchildren. Thank you for your continued fight against terror and for your bold leadership that has brought me and many others back home to our family.
Sorry. Shit. When I was in Gaza, I lived in constant fear of my life and personal safety. I was starved and tortured both physically and emotionally. Treated me even worse than usual. A terrorist kicked me out, spat on me, and held me with no water, no light, and no air to breathe.
It was probably because he was in a tunnel.
He's in a tunnel.
Probably couldn't breathe very well.
Yeah, you're in the middle of a desert. You're in a tunnel. You're being put in the dark and solitary with no water. I don't understand what the question is. It's torture. Anyway, no, I don't think it's disrespectful, but I think it's a fairly simple question that they tortured him. You know, of course they didn't stop his airflow for, days, and they didn't stop his water intake for weeks. Otherwise he'd be dead, but it's torture. I mean, it's what these fucking people do. So, they're terrorists. Thank you for the donation.
It's Stephen for the 3rd time tonight.
Stephen,
really
that's 3 times tonight, buddy. Jeez, Stephen, thank you so much. Olivia is going to walk us through. And Livy, you know what? You're so amazing. I totally forgot. I'm sorry.
The funny thing is
such a
I would say that 99 out of 100 things that I bring to the show and you have me send you something, we never talk about because you forget.
That's not true. That's please don't do that. That's not true. That's a horrible thing to say. Why would you say that? I always cover your stuff. I always get it in. That's not true. Why would you say that?
I'm sorry.
No. Do you believe that? Is that what you really believe?
No, it's not 90 out of 100, but I would probably half of them when I do bring them to you, you either forget or it's not going to work for the show. And that's okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so. So let's go through them. Let's spend the rest of the No, we're going to go we're going through them.
Well, I don't remember them because
I got them all right here. I'm looking at them, and I'm taking some umbrage, honey, because I don't think that that's true. I forgot tonight because I'm tired and I've had a long day.
Thank you.
Long week.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate it.
I didn't get to see it. What was it?
It's just says MAGA. It's Don Bradley.
Oh, Don Bradley. Thank you, Don. You're amazing. Thanks for helping us hit it. Let's see. We went over R3. You brought that to me. We did that. You went over your Oregon tidbit thingy. I don't remember what it was about honestly, but it was a while ago, and it was about I thought it was about schools. Didn't we go over something just recently last week? I mean, honey, I don't remember everything. You have to tell me what I missed, because
I don't remember. I really
if it's that important, why'd you bring it up? Just little boom right in the gut for no reason. I'm confused. I really am. I'm really upset with myself that I've missed all these things. These hundreds of things you've sent me that you just mentioned. So can you give me one real quick so I can do a search for it and find out what we missed?
Where the dog went.
So which one? Give me one that we missed so I can look it up real quick.
I don't know, to be completely off the top of my head, because once once I send it, I usually don't even think about it.
Can we even think of one that we did cover?
Well, R3 we covered last week.
So tonight you sent me here it is. So you sent me the would-be Mooresville school shooter college. Okay. And then you sent me the R3 story, which we just did. Okay.
I know it was, I could tell you a couple of them.
Okay, give them to me.
There was,
confusing.
There was a couple months there where I was bringing stuff to you, and then you never even wanted to put them on the show.
That's such a horrible thing to say. Sonny Holston, Break Science, that's from Amy. What do you mean I didn't want to put him on the show? I am so confused at what you're talking about right now. I am like baffled.
Well, there's only a couple of them because I don't bring much to the show. I don't do many ideas.
You just told me you brought hundreds of them.
I was exaggerating, and I'm sorry about exaggerating.
Okay, because
I don't bring much. That's the thing, is I don't bring much to the show. I just am on the show.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that I'm not because so I'm not trying to be too sensitive here, but you just said two things that I have not shown hundreds of your topics, right? And then said,
you know how somebody will say 9 out of 10 times or 9 out of 10.
That's not what you said.
It was a generalization.
Okay, and then you said that there are topics you gave me in the past that I just completely ignored and said I'm not going to put them on.
No, you didn't ignore them. You looked at them and said that it's not going to work or something.
Okay, because I'm just researching this because I really truly. Okay, so why don't we do this? Why don't you cover your topic and tell us about it? I'm going to open it up. And then I'm going to continue to look here and see, because I really want to know this. Because if I did this, then I'm a horrible human being. Like, I'm not only a horrible host, I'm a horrible husband. If I shut down 100 of your topics.
Like I said, I have not run 100 topics. I don't bring much anyway, so it's okay. It's rare for me to send you something anyway.
I'm going to keep looking because I believe that your first statement. Walk us through this video. What are we going to watch? What are we looking at? And this is your topic. And since I've only allowed you to have one topic on the show ever, it's really important that we do it now.
You're going to shove it back in my face.
Oh yeah,
all weekend long.
I'm a little pissed. I'm going to say I feel a little bust.
I would expect that, considering that we have never let Hayden live gorilla down. So
no, I'm a little pissed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little. This is the one where I feel justified in my frustration. Is because I'm like, no, it's okay. We can do that to each other. I remember your Target video.
No, you covered that one. I wasn't even really on the show. With
Georgia
Target.
Mom faces jail for letting 10-year-old son walk to town. We
did
covered
that one.
We did that one.
Yes, we did.
Oh well, we've already found 4. Keep here. Walk us through this. Let's do this. Let me stop being petty, and then we'll do this.
This was actually from Amy sent this in. I get a lot of my topics from.
Is this the? Oh, is this the Mooresville? This is the one we're supposed to be doing now, right?
Yes.
Oh, well, I don't ignore Amy. I put Amy stuff on all the time. It's just you that I ignore. So let's. You're so. It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna turn into anger sex. That's all good. That's gonna work for me, so I'm okay with that.
All right, so let's walk us through. Where was this at? What happened? And so we
This
understand.
was, if I'm not mistaken, Indiana, Mooresville, Indiana. It's
Okay.
like the town right above where Amy lives. There was, I think it happened on Tuesday. The senior, she's 18. She was arrested, charged with multiple felonies because they found she was turned in by a friend through the tip line that she was planning to carry out a mass shooting in her school today on Valentine's Day. And she idolizes other school shootings. I guess when you went into her bedroom, which I blame the parents for this, because any parent that allows their child to have this on the wall, a little off themselves.
Right.
But she had framed pictures of other school shooting perpetrators.
God.
And
what
her
a fucking freak.
idol was the one, I don't even know his name, but the one from Florida, Valentine's Day in 2018, that killed the, what was it, 17 or 18?
This
where
wasn't
David Hogg came from.
Oh, Parkland.
Yes.
This wasn't the nightclub shooting. The
Yeah, no,
Pulse
this
nightclub.
was the
Parkland.
school on February 14th. I guess she wrote him in jail. She's been like a pen pal with him. She idolizes this dude. And I guess she wanted to show how committed and how much she respected him by carrying out the same thing he did.
It's always
on the same
it's
day.
always in the eyes, isn't it?
And it's just, and the fact that I don't care how old Hayden is. If I walk into her room and she has got freaking pictures framed of serial killers, and so no, we're going to have a serious chat.
All right,
but
let's play the video real quick, because I don't want you to get mad at me for not playing the video you sent me. So here's the video, so we can watch this. This is incredibly she's
Covered into a thwarted mass shooting.
What, baby?
I think it's just because there was a topic a couple weeks ago where you were going to put it on and you forgot, and the next time it was a Friday. We were going to do it Monday, and then you forgot, and it took like a week and a half to finally get it on. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's the jab for that one.
I'm aware of it. And that's why you didn't let me finish before you stuck it in me and twisted it like the doctor did with their fist checking my prostate.
Maybe I was a little jealous of that doctor today.
You could have joined in. It was a quiet room. So I would have taken one for the team. So I was going to say, before you rudely interrupted me, that I feel so bad. Not only did I ignore it on Valentine's Day, but that one from like 2 weeks ago where it took me like a week to get it on. So I was going to cell phone, but I always appreciate when you send stuff in, and sometimes it doesn't work for the show because it's too small. It's like, I can't even give you an example.
I do remember one, but
What?
it was where there was a school district in Arizona that was sued, and the family won because
Yeah, I remember that.
the 10-year-old girl committed suicide over bullying in the school, and blah, blah, blah.
And the reason why we didn't cover it is because nobody would have disagreed with that. Like, it's not a good panel topic. Like, this creates conversation and dialogue. It didn't have a video. It was a small article. So you're right. I do veto some things on the show. That's for sure. 98% of them complete bullshit, and hundreds that you've
I
sent
said
in.
99%.
What? 99.
Get it right. Get the number right.
I swear to God, I am pitching tonight for sure.
Don't you normally?
Well, not after that doctor visit. I'll tell you. I wanted to bring something up tonight, and something. I was wondering if maybe. All right, shut up and listen.
At a school in Mooresville, police say a high school senior was arrested on multiple felonies.
Matt, just say you're sorry, and Olivia's right. Fuck no. She's totally
not how it
fucked.
plays
Why
in
do
this
you
house.
think not everyone's defending her right now? They know. They're like, oh, that's pretty fucked up. Come on. Come on, give it a break.
This week for planning to kill her classmates on Valentine's Day.
Fox 59's Jenny Drasler shares what court documents are revealing about the suspect's obsession with mass shooters.
18-year-old Trinity Shockley in jail, charged with multiple felonies after court documents say she planned to carry out a shooting Friday on Valentine's Day at Mooresville High School.
Well, it's very disturbing. I mean, this is a small town, and a lot of us have, I have family that goes there. And a lot of my guys have kids that go to Mooresville High School. And to think, nothing ever happens in Mooresville, it's a small town, but to think that somebody was plotting to hurt a lot of individuals, kids, future leaders of this country or whoever, is pretty disturbing.
Mooresville Police Chief Kerry Buckner says this all started Tuesday when a friend of Shockley's sent in a tip to the Sandy Hook tip line. That tip revealed Shockley had been planning the attack for about a year, had access to an AR-15, and ordered a bulletproof vest. Police later found AR-15 magazines and a box of 50 .40 caliber rounds from Shockley's father's room in their home and a soft armor vest. Court documents say during the investigation, police
Is Tommy on? What the fuck she have 40 caliber rounds with an AR for? Is there a modified 40 cal AR that I'm not aware of? Tommy, you on? I don't think there's a 40 cal AR. Are they just trying to make it sound worse than it is? Because there's no such thing as a 40 cal AR. All right, well, let's listen to this.
Discovered Shockley kept a collage of known mass shooters on her bedroom wall, including Nicholas Cruz, Dylan Roof, and Andrew Blaze.
I'm really glad.
Pictures in her room.
Glad there were no warning signs, right, honey? I mean,
That's what I said.
I
Her
mean-
parents should go in a room at least every once in a while.
jeez.
They look like family photographs, like you would put of your kids, but they were all of people that had committed mass shootings.
Court documents show Shockley confessed to a school counselor that she had an infatuation with Cruz, the Parkland, Florida mass shooter convicted of killing 17 people on Valentine's Day in 2018. Shockley admitted to writing letters to Cruz and had a locket with his picture inside. She said she wanted to prove she was his #1 fan. Parents and students we spoke to were horrified.
I was dumbfounded. I figured it would happen at some point. Eventually, it could happen anywhere. Thankfully, they caught her when they did, and nothing went on tomorrow.
I'm taking school off tomorrow because of how scary it comes off to be, and I know that there's been a lot of other school shootings around, and so having that come here, thinking that we were just fine is kind of just scary.
Chief Buckner says Shockley's father is cooperating with the investigation, and there will still be classes Friday at Mooresville High School with increased security.
I know a lot of people think it's corny, see something, say something, but really, it works. The thing is, we're not going to immediately go down and blow down doors and stuff. We investigate it. If it's nothing, it's nothing.
So
it's better to say something.
Is this just recently? Yeah.
Yeah, it
Holy
was supposed
shit.
to be. She was going to carry
Today.
out the plan today. She got arrested on Tuesday.
Holy moly.
So it was down to the wire.
That's insane. This is a graphic that I have of just some of the most recent mass shooters, and all non-binary, transgender, LGBTQ plus, RSP, CT type stuff. Now you've got some younger. It seems like women are becoming there's a lot of disenfranchised youth that are very angry and doing some pretty horrendous things.
Yeah.
How does this make you feel? My husband said, yes, there's a 40 caliber AR. It's a pistol cartridge. What? An AR 40 caliber pistol. I guess it's possible, but why? Yeah, it's a pistol. I know it's a pistol cartridge. That's what I was saying, Lady J. I don't understand why. Unless you have an AR pistol, but why? Why wouldn't you? I don't know. It's weird. It's okay. Go ahead, Liv.
I blame the media a little bit on this because the media tends to put these mass shooters in the limelight, and they focus more on the perpetrator as opposed to the victims. The victims are an afterthought, but the day it happens, that perpetrator his name, his or her name, their pictures of, everything. They're all over and they're famous right then and there. And I think that's how some people want to go out, and they want to be remembered, because I'm sure a lot of it is bullying, and they don't have friends, and they felt isolated, and they feel like no one loves them, and no one remembers, as no one will ever remember who they are. So they want to be remembered. So they're going to do something horrific so they're remembered, because the media makes sure people remembers them.
Yeah.
And what it should be,
Sorry.
it's okay.
Wait. Go ahead.
What it should be is, there is, a mass shooting, and we're not going to mention the shooter's name or any information on this person.
Yeah.
At the moment, we're going to concentrate on the victims. And then once the victims have been released, we'll tell you a little more. But the media always, because I don't know if this is the E. Jean Carroll thing where she thinks rape is sexy, but the media thinks that.
Oh, yeah, it sells.
It sells. And so they want what sells as opposed to what's right.
It's a very good analysis. I don't think I can add anything else to it to make it even better. What I know, I can do this though.
Okay, y'all. I am so upset right now. I haven't eaten anything in 2 days. I haven't slept in 2 days. I'm just so upset about the election results.
I remember you sending me that, and I played it.
Yeah.
Oh, look. It's
And the fact that people thought I was real.
Oh, look. It's the article on honor killing that we covered. Oh, interesting. Oh, look. It's the Juicy Smollett Supreme Court overturn that we covered. Oh, interesting. Oh, what about the bird video during the drones that I covered? So, you know what? You take your shit and you just shove it, because I know for a fact that when you bring something, I did miss it a couple weeks ago, but I've been very good. So I take. I
love you.
I love you too. A rifle now made, Matt. But Matt, I hear it's because it's a cheaper caliber to shoot when training.
Bless you.
Period. I guess there's a bunch of gun that needs to be changed.
Bless you again.
But my point is that, yeah, I just don't understand why. I don't know. I'm assuming it exists. I just would never shoot 40 through an AR. They have made 9mm AR platforms, and I haven't seen a 40. Me too. I'm aware too. I just never seen it. I just don't understand why not.
Karen, yes, that was me.
Amy,
apparently, some people haven't seen that video.
Amy, I'll show that video. Amy says, "Why not?" Well, maybe she was talking to me. Why not? Is because I just wouldn't. 40 cal ammo is not always readily available. Either is 9mm, but I guess 5.56 and is kind of a pain in the ass. 2.23 can be a pain in the ass. I mean, all ammo is hard to get. I don't know. I just never thought about shooting a 40 cal. I mean, it's not a high speed ammo. It's a heavier round, and modifying the barrel really doesn't give you it. It doesn't have the length and depth of a higher velocity round. I just don't understand why you would use that platform. Why don't you just go shoot a 40 cal? I understand. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't know. I don't like it.
Maybe somebody who doesn't understand weapons of any kind thinks that a 40 cal is going to be a really powerful bullet no matter what.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I know an AR pistol. I don't know. It's just weird. Thank you for saying God bless me. The video Olivia did, the one that I didn't show, is
Now, Amy never made hers. She was supposed to make one. She never.
Oh, so now you're going to throw Amy under the bus.
Yes.
I'm not good enough? Now you got to throw Amy under the bus. Jeez, woman. I got to find it real quick. Is that are we done for the night on donations?
As far as I know, I don't have any.
Do you want to
more.
double check real quick while I look this up? Did you send me any nudies on this that I shouldn't be scrolling?
If that's on the dumb chat, then no.
I love how you admit it, but you're like, no, I didn't send any nudes on that. But the private one, I did. Let's see. It's coming. Oh, look at that. There's Tommy. Tommy, I got to go. When I go to Georgia, I want to go to that gun store. All right, I'm going to show this video, and then we're going to get the hell out of here. I'm tired. I need to go to sleep. Well, not sleep. It's coming.
Go eat our food.
Oh, look,
It's
another article that I did of yours.
It's going to be back in November. It was right after the election.
I'm working on it, woman.
A week after the
I'm
election.
working on it. I love how you remember that shit. It's incredible.
I know dates. Well, because it was when all the women were shaving off their hair, shaving their heads, and doing the hunger sex strikes shit.
Okay, y'all. I am so upset right now. I haven't eaten anything in 2 days. I haven't slept in 2 days. I'm just so upset about the election results. I don't know what to do. As a non-binary, gluten-intolerant, vegan woman who goes by G and Jur, by the way. What am I going to do? I've lost my right to not eat meat and dairy?
Can I
I'm
just
going to be forced to eat meat and dairy? Probably cats and dogs. Oh, I just can't handle it. I'm just so upset. Yeah? Yeah. You're going to eat? Sure. Where you go? McDonald's? Great. I'll take a Big Mac with extra cheese and a liter of cola. Awesome. Thanks. Oh, I'm so sick to my stomach. I just can't eat anything. I don't know what to do. And my grandmother, God rest her soul, how is she going to survive without her Social Security check? They're going to take that away from her? Oh, my dear grandmother, God rest her soul. Oh, I'm just so worried sick about her. Oh, and you know the worst of all? It's my cat, Snowflake. I know that Snowflake is a Trump supporter. Because she's orange fur.
Oh my God.
It's so sad. She supports the evil orange pumpkin man, and I'm gonna have to put her down because I can't have a cat that supports Trump. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just so sick about this. Oh gosh. Oh, I don't know what to do. I just can't anymore.
People were so mad.
Oh my God! People didn't realize it was me, and they were
Earl
talking.
doesn't realize it's you.
They were
Earl
talking
just said
some serious shit.
Earl says she's not a very good actor or actress.
That was me, and I was. It's like the drone video. I was making fun of the stupid women out there who were shaving their heads and being stupid about the whole election. I mean, the whole fact that my cat is named Snowflake, and I ordered McDonald's even though I'm a vegan.
Yeah,
Just
it was a joke.
I think that the topper was the socks with the Birkenstocks. I think that.
Yeah, Joanne, it's a joke.
Total joke.
This is why I chose not to play it and ignore it because nobody got it. Because everyone's like, wait, she's horrible.
Could be like the drone video.
Drone video was freaking awesome too. So, folks, we want to say thank you to everybody who helped donate. And it's been a long week. Yes, tired, but I'm about to go have some great time.
Frozen yogurt.
Oh yeah, I haven't had frozen yogurt in months.
I know we don't do it anymore.
So I'm excited to spend the time. I hope you all have a fantastic Valentine's Day. No one ever take Olivia and I seriously. We do this. This is foreplay. We joke around. We have a good time, and a lot of it's just for show. So I beat her properly when she gets too lippy, just like any good woman should. Have we seen that in a while?
What?
Let's watch that and then let's go.
What? Which one?
The other video you sent me that I didn't want to play of yours.
The drone video?
No, God. Okay, enough of the drone video.
I don't know which
enough
one
of the
sent
fucking
you.
drone video, kids. Santa's lactose intolerant. No, this one. Just hold on. I got it. I'm all over it. Let's see. Humor. Downloading. Oh yeah. Oh, this one's our best. This one's one of our best. This is one of our greatest hits. Watch this, guys. A lot of you haven't seen this. Enjoy.
Caroline's back. Men can't help being sarcastic when you're right, and they could be wrong. That's very liberal of you. Did you just call me a sexist? Oh, God. Oh. I want to go get my wife, but she's in the kitchen, so I can't get anyone to defend me. Please. Okay, I'm not even going to dignify that. That's really quite. Oh. Here comes my wife. I'm going to get shit now. Thanks a lot, Caroline. Thanks. Now I'm in trouble. Now I'm getting. Come on. Come here. Now I'm in trouble, Caroline. Thanks. Get over here.
I need to be pregnant.
Gotta talk to her.
Oh, Caroline, I'm pregnant barefoot, cooking him some dinner. I'm going to bring it to him later, okay?
You bitch, get back in the kitchen and get me a bear. Go get me a pot pie. Now, woman.
This is
Don't make me tell you twice. How do you know a woman? What do you say to a woman with two black eyes? Nothing. You already done tell her twice. You don't need to tell her again. Love you.
That's where the nickname Pot
I will
Pie
take
came
that pot
from.
pie though.
How long ago? That was 3 years ago.
Yeah, that was.
Well,
yeah.
We that was the new set, and we redid that right at the end of 2021. So yeah, that was right around. It might have been spring of 2021.
Yeah, that's when pot pie.
That's where Pot Pie came from.
That's when pot pie came around, and yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't on the show. I wasn't even close to being on the show at that point.
Yeah. Hey, kiddo, bring in the dog. No, don't get her excited. Not in this farkin' room, children. Hey, no. Let me pick her up.
Pretty soon she's gonna be too big to do that.
Come here. Hey, switch with your sister. Let her pick her up and bring her over. Come here, baby. Hey, come here. Right in her head. Okay, you gotta scoot down so they can see her. Here is the pup. Oh, jeez Louise. Okay, all right. Hi, I know I've missed you. It's been 3 hours.
We have to get her a new collar. She's already outgrown this one.
Okay. All right, get her out of here. Holy shit. God. That's. Hi, everyone. Everyone says. Yeah. There she is.
Huge.
There's the baby. She's a love. She's like literally just like daddy's girl.
Oh yeah, total.
Nice. Okay, stop biting my ass. Leave. Out. We're getting out. All right, folks. Listen, we love you. We appreciate you. Thanks, everybody.
Howie, Amy does the better Harris impersonation. Amy's got to do that video for sure.
Yeah, she does a good one. Olivia plays a good. She plays a good ditz. Just sticks to what she knows. Very, very solid at it. Folks, thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. We appreciate you. We love you. We will see you guys on Monday. It'll be Olivia, myself, and Amy. And we will talk to you guys soon. Remember, March, we're going to have Amy, Leroy, and Olivia and I all in the same room doing a show together since we're all going out doing a photo shoot.
So that's it. I don't think we're going to be able to be in here. We're just going to have to.
I'm going to set up the cameras. Yeah,
okay.
I'm going to do it right. Yeah, we're going to use the phones, cameras. I'm going to do a studio setup, basically. But folks, thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. God bless. We'll see you guys Monday. Please like, share, and subscribe this. Thank you for your donations and your time and taking
Appreciate
care.
It.
We finished at how many followers tonight, honey?
224,679.
We'll be at 225,000 by the time we talk again. Good night, everybody. We appreciate you. Good night.
Night, y'all.
See ya. Maybe. Good night.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis.
Glad you're feeling better, Howie.
Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.